Yeah, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Took a minute. Door Guys Podcast. This is Davis.
And Vinny.
And today our guest, our only other person here, is Jen Muller.
What's up?
A server.
Special guest.
Yeah, special guest. You've been a server, MOD, all around Jack of Trades.
Server.
Head server?
Yeah.
Wow.
Before she was MOD.
Bartender.
Oh, that's right. You did do bar for a little while, didn't you?
I've done everything but your guys' job. Well, sometimes I do your guys' job.
Depending on who we have working.
Who's working that night.
I was like, you ran the board before. I
yeah.
think you just haven't done the announcing and the sound.
Yep, that's true. I've yelled at a lot of people doing the board, too.
Yes, you have. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You do that, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not shy.
Yeah. I'm not.
I didn't think she was. That's why we have her as a guest today.
No, because sometimes these new guys come in and they think they know the room. And I'm like, what are you doing? You don't know the room. You don't know the servers. Or they load on one server that's new and then she freaks out and then I have to handle that shit.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the chart that
Yeah.
we do? Yes.
How you seat.
Yes. So for people who don't know, when you come in, there's a chart that I am the master of.
You are. You and Vinny are the only ones I trust to do that thing. If I see anybody else doing it, I'm like, it's not going to work.
This night's going to suck.
Jen likes to have a lot of beefcakes, I think is what you'd say in her section.
Lots of dudes.
That is true.
Or maybe bears. Aren't beefcakes are shaved up? I think you like hairier dudes.
Sure, I don't care.
I don't think she has a hair preference.
Fair enough. I didn't know.
She likes it all.
I'm not picky.
So, I usually try to seat the room like that. I think I've talked about that before, that sometimes sections will get filled with one type of person.
And if I don't get that, I get pissed.
That is true.
Especially if I see it in somebody else's section. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I've been here all night. What are you doing?
So, here at the Funny Bone, we profile gentlemen, not ladies.
It's true. Although I ask you to profile all kinds of other stuff, too.
That is true.
Hairy dudes or non-hairy dudes isn't the only thing on that list. Jen has a very extensive list of don't give me this, don't do that,
I don't want the dumb dudes. I don't want the young dudes. I want the old ladies. Oh, yeah.
At least you have descriptions of people, where a lot of the other servers just are like, I want someone with fat pockets. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Because you can just look
I
at
can
people.
see that.
Like, we'll ask them, are you going to tip well? Because those are the worst, isn't it? When people say, I'll tip you, I'll take care of you. And then usually you get stiffed.
That's the verbal tip.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the
really?
kiss of death.
Oh, I didn't know this.
That.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I did not know that.
yeah.
Anybody that sits down right away and is like, oh, yeah, what's your name? Oh, we're good tippers. Automatically. Nope.
$2? Seriously?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucked up.
The worst.
It is.
And it's not like it's just once or twice or certain types of people or anything. It's anyone that does that, right? I mean, that never works out.
Almost never.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to think if I say that. I don't think I have. I do like to tip well because I've always worked in like the service industry or a place like this. And so my stepdad kind of gets pissy at restaurants a lot of times. He's actually worked in a restaurant and owned one, so I kind of get where he comes from, but also I'm always like, I would spit in your food right now, dude. And I like food with no spit.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. And anytime we're out, like my
Spit in
family.
people's food?
I've only done that once, and it was here.
We need to get into that story, too.
She deserved it.
I'm sure she did.
I agree with you.
No, whenever I'm out, anyone that's with me will sign the tip and be like, "Is this okay?" And I'm like, Usually it's not.
Right.
Yeah.
Usually it's not.
If you have to ask, throw a couple more on there.
Yeah. Yep. Or just use your calculator. 20% is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like Chell always says, it's easy.
It is.
Yeah. He's like, you fucking move the decimal point to the over to one to the left, and then you double it. That's 20%.
Yeah. It's easy. Oh, Chell. I forgot about him.
Yeah.
I used his mittens today that I
Did
stole
ya?
from the sound booth to shovel my driveway. I was telling my wife about it. I was like, look at these mittens. They're badass. And she's like, those are cool. I'm like, they're probably from Sweden.
I think.
Probably
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah.
I think they are. That was his merch.
His dad was making them.
Oh, is that
yeah,
who?
or
Okay.
his dad
I knew
had
there was some kind
his
of
dad had
story.
a whole bunch of them or something like that, and so he was like, "Fucking, I'm gonna take them and sell them."
Oh, they're the fucking best. They're so warm.
The only thing that sucks is their mittens.
I don't know. I liked them.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like mittens. I need my fingers.
Well. I like them. They're like boxing gloves. So.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's true.
We're out there shadow boxing in the fucking.
I'd shovel and then put the shovel down, just kind of give it 1, 2, and pick it back up. It's a good workout.
And you didn't record that for content for a reel?
No.
Oh, you fool.
Dude, I'm terrible about it. I do have an idea about a food smashing reel I'm going to make, but it's going to take a couple weekends.
Yeah, it is.
Like smashing other people's or your own?
Well, you know,
Oh, you
I
didn't
don't
know that he does that?
Yeah, I don't know if you knew this, but I go
I heard
around
it
here
on
and
the
I
podcast last
smash it with my fists
Oh,
like
I'd
that.
fuck you up. I would smash your face.
This is probably why I've never done that, because I knew
He knows better.
I knew this. So for years, Jen and I walk around here and karate chop the shit out of each other's necks from behind. And it hurts a lot of times.
I'm sure.
I'm always trying to get the good one where the whole side of you.
Oh,
just
you have gotten that a couple times. Where I'm just like numb. Like when I fell down the stairs, I was just numb on my side.
I would pay money to see the footage of that fall.
I know. I asked if he had cameras in his house, and he said no.
Not there, nope.
Son of a bitch.
There's
was
nothing
terrible.
funnier than anybody falling. I love it.
Yeah, and immediately when everyone just knew I was okay and my brain wasn't bleeding,
Yeah.
it was real funny. My wife's told me like 50 times, like I need that fucking
Life alert.
Life alert. Yeah.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
I mean, I could get up, but after about 10 minutes, I feel like.
Jesus.
I don't know if that's considered getting up.
That's coming around. That's not getting up.
So when did you start at the Funny Bone?
Okay, so funny story. This is my 14th year.
I'll be the judge if it's funny.
Okay, well, I came here one.
It's not open mic night.
Oh, sorry.
I know she's on stage and everything, but we don't have to judge her like it's a fucking open mic night.
So I came here for the first time with my sister-in-law, who was Colleen's barista at Crane Coffee
Oh, really?
for like years. And I had never been here before. So Colleen had come in and gotten coffee and gave her tickets to a show. I don't even remember who was here when we came. But we were sitting like right there at like 123, 124. And Colleen comes over and she was like, hey, hi, you know how she does when she greets people at tables. And she said to my sister-in-law, God, I need to hire servers. Do you know anybody that wants a job? And I had been working at the Olive Garden for like 4 years before that. And I had just quit like 3 months earlier because I was like, fuck this. I'm so over serving. Like, but you can't, once you miss that cash, like, you have to, like, that cash is too good. So then I was like, oh, well, I'm kind of interested. And she was like, well, fill out an application and we'll talk. And I was like, okay. So I went to the bathroom and she brought an application over, but I was in the bathroom. So my sister-in-law told her, oh, she just ran to the restroom. So then Colleen comes in the restroom. I'm washing my hands, and she was like, so can you start tomorrow? And I was like, okay, sure. So I came in the next day. It was a Sunday. Again, I don't remember who was here. And then, yeah, I've been here ever since.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. I think that was the only shift I got training on. And then the next weekend was hat. And I wanted to die. I didn't think
Wow, your first week was a hat week and you survived?
I don't think I could. I didn't think I was going to.
I mean, usually whenever people train on their first week and it was a hat week, they didn't last very long.
I know, but that money was crazy. You could pay
know.
your rent in a weekend. I was thinking about that, how it's been so long since he's been here, but it'll never be like that again.
No.
I've never worked that hard, but made that much money in a weekend ever since him.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, and that's one of the things we've talked about on here before is I think it started early on when we were telling the Cheetos story and how Eric was getting mad about the Cheetos, the whole Cheetos thing. And I brought up the fact that we're just kind of keeping crowd control in the room, running sound, doing tubs, and you guys are actually working your fucking asses off, and how different paced of a server job and how different it is, I guess, overall of any other server job out there.
Oh, yeah.
Like working in the dark, working that fast, flipping the room, doing all that shit.
It's so different. 'Cause at the Olive Garden, you get 3 tables. And
3?
3.
Wow.
And like if you're a good server, they might give you 4 sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. 4 whole tables.
Each table is only
That's
4
crazy.
people. So
Yeah.
the most
Right.
guests you're serving at once in most restaurants like that is 12 people. You come here and you have a section of
8
to 15, 16 tables
Yeah.
sometimes with, 4 people
4
at each
one.
table.
Yeah, if it's sold out.
It's so different.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember there were nights when I would count, especially during hat, because we would have to go through and count the room and count the number of heads actually in the server section to kind of get a count of how many people are actually here. Plus, it also helped figure out your guys' PPA, your per person average. And there'd be lots of nights where I'd come up and I'd generally like, hey, you were the winner tonight. You had 56 people tonight. You had 64 people. You had 57 people, because that's how many people you had in your section for that one show.
Which is crazy. That's crazy.
And you do that twice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you were able to handle it. I mean, not everybody can handle that many people.
I didn't handle it at first. I don't think it was crazy. I think I cried after my first shift. Like, I don't think I could. This is fucking crazy. I don't think I can do this. Because their training system here, God bless them, is like, it really just is like, can you do it or you can't?
Yeah.
They don't want to waste the time on anybody that's not going to make it. So they kind of just throw you in. And
Right.
Well, they used to have a training thing for the posse. I remember there used to be a training program you have to go through. Did you have to do that?
I did. But
I mean, that's just, do you know where these fucking buttons are and shit like that?
I mean, which is part of the job, but it does nothing to help coming into the showroom and being able to handle that section.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. And then, like you said, Davis, you got it in the dark.
Yeah.
And then people just come in and sit. And you're like trying to carry these trays, like, excuse me. And nobody fucking moves. And
Right.
I mean, there's so many factors that it's way different.
Yeah, I know over here in like the 100, 130 area over there, it gets so tight if it's sold out. For some reason, that area is just so small for you guys to get through.
Uh-huh.
I've had to go through there to like tell a guy to shut up or tell a lady to shut up before, and it's hard for my big ass to squeeze through there. I'm like
Mine
pushing
too.
people to like get through because they're all sitting all in the aisle and everything. Like I have to like move them to get out of the way.
When I first started, I would like purposely put my ass on people to like make them uncomfortable to move. But like, especially with dudes, they don't care.
Well, no, they're excited. They're getting hard. Like, oh, the chick totally put her ass on me.
Now I step on feet, and that usually works.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah. Pain is.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
I haven't thought about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dudes don't like it when you step on their shoes
Nobody
either.
does.
So, yeah, that is true.
They move pretty quick.
I'm sure they do.
Stamping feet's my new thing.
I know, right?
Better not fuck around in here.
Yeah. Jump on some feet. Yep.
That'll get someone off guard also.
Oh, yeah,
Just
for
stomp
sure.
on their foot.
What the fuck?
I like it.
It works every time. I started using that one a couple years ago. I don't know why I started using that. Oh, I think because the butt thing wasn't working.
Oh, yeah.
Or I would go get one of you guys and be like, can you go tell these people? Because you don't want to tell your own table, like, get the fuck out of the way.
Well, right, yeah.
And then we'd go get you, and they'd do one of these. Like no, that's not going to help. That was like a half an inch.
And depending on who's telling them, like if it's Davis or I telling them to move, and we're going to be like, stand there and wait till they move. But, you get some of the other new guys or some of the ones that, don't like to do that stuff. They'll be like, hey, can you move? And then they'll walk away. And then they'll do that half inch move. And
Well, and then you'll come out with a full tray of, drinks, and you're like skimming through, and people are like, oh my God, look at you, you're so great. And it's like, well, if you would fucking move, I wouldn't have
so it'd
to
be so
do
fucking
this.
hard.
Look at her. She's doing tricks.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's like a circus act. No, just move, and no one will get spilled on.
People don't understand that. They can't judge the space, apparently.
No.
Clearly. Well, I love Josh Blue's bit, I'm sure, and I have this question for you, but Josh Blue's a bit about when he talks about the servers. All the comics have some form of, give it up for the servers, and some do other things or other. But Josh is just great. He's like, comedy club waitresses, I have even more respect for them because they're like, you know what, let's go be servers, but fuck it, let's do it in the dark. And he's like, it's got to be hard because, they're sitting there laughing. They're like, ha, 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 shut up and give me a beer and move the fuck along. Ha, 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 ha. Because.
Oh, yeah. Because they want you to serve them, but they don't want to be interrupted.
Right.
So there's like.
You can't do both.
You can't. And so you have to kind of figure it out, like how are you going to do that without interrupting them? I remember when we used to have those surveys. Do you remember the iPad surveys?
The little square, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I do
Remember those
remember
things?
those.
Brutal.
not only did the comics hate him, but the people at the shows hated him because they're already getting interrupted with the bill,
right.
and then you ask them to do this survey before the end of the show, and we used to get our asses reamed if we didn't do them because they went to corporate. But it was like nobody wanted to ask anybody to do them. I would just sorry, Colleen. I would just set them on the table and walk away.
I feel like they didn't last very long.
I put it on the table, Colleen.
They didn't want to fill it out. I don't know what to tell you.
No, they didn't last long because they got that feedback that like nobody.
Well, yeah, they suck. Mm-hmm. Well, it sucked. Yeah.
Nobody wanted to fill them out.
They lasted too long.
And nowadays it's a nightmare, when we're supposed to be strict about people on their phones or whatever, like say a Rob Schneider show, and everyone's got an iWatch or whatever. So I'm standing over here, and all I see is every time someone moves their hand, it fucking opens up and is a little tiny light that looks like a phone all across the showroom, which like fucks with my mind. And I remember back when those things, you're going from an iPhone to a little watch light, and then you have a big iPad or a mini iPad light is lighting up the showroom, which people already take their phones and use the light to look at their bill and all types of shit during that part of the show. Yeah, dude, it's the worst. That's why there's candles there, right?
Exactly. So I'll go up, and I don't remember who, it might have been Christian or someone. I saw do that where they're pulling their phone up, and they walked up because we have those rechargeable candles in there. Big surprise to everybody. Those aren't real candles in there. And so
not anymore.
They used to be, but so somebody walked up, reached into the candle, pulled the little thing out, and set it on the table and said, "Use that." I was like, "Oh, that's a great idea." So
I do that all the time.
Yeah,
especially because we have to have the checks picked up before the end of the show.
Yes.
Right.
So if you go by and they're like, "Oh, well, I can't see it," a lot of people get like snippy, like, "Oh, well, I can't see it," and I'll be like,
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now you can. Let's pay your bill. Get out of here.
I don't want you fucking walking on your tab.
Oh my God, that's a nightmare.
That happened to you a lot?
Nah, at the beginning, I think it happened maybe 2 or 3 times, but we always tell Colleen tells all the new servers, like, you get one, and then after that, you have to pay for it. Which I don't think it's ever really actually happened. But I have
gotta scare them.
I have been in the office when she's called people before that have skated out and been like, your server has to pay for this out of her pocket, and she's a single mom. I mean, she makes up this whole sob story and tells them, or then she'll just be like, well, then we have to call the cops because...
Yeah,
this is considered theft, thievery or whatever. Yeah.
I was like, when she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to fire her then. This is her last offense."
That's up before too.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, that's the best."
No, I don't get that very. I'm really strict about.
Yeah.
Because
and you're good about reaching out to one of us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that is true.
I think they've forgotten. Must not be telling that to the new servers.
Some of them, like Lindsay's one of the newer ones that she'll reach out to me, or she'll tell me if somebody else is worried about it. I feel like there's been a few times
but
lately.
I think the majority of them don't, because I haven't heard.
I think you're correct.
Everybody's behaving and paying, but I mean, you're real good about, hey, watch this table because they haven't paid yet, and
I think most of the crew that's on now, they're all pretty strict about it, because well, one, nobody wants to pay for it, which I don't. But 2, then we lose out on that tip if they don't pay.
Right.
Then once they're gone, that's part of our money. So
right.
I think the girls that are on now, well, it's mostly girls. Sorry, Eric.
He's one of the girls.
He is one of the girls. Most of
now
the
that
time.
he shaved his wizard beard, he
yeah.
No, but I think everyone is pretty good about it, because I know they'll be standing back there. It's like, oh, 1:30 didn't pay yet. We all talk about it in the showroom. So everybody's looking out for it. Well, it's just a dick move. Like at any restaurant, somebody's been working serving you all night long, and then.
Have you ever walked on a bill?
Hell no.
I did once when I was a young man.
You did?
I did.
You should.
At an Italian restaurant over in Rockbrook. I forget what it was called.
Pasta Amore?
Something, maybe.
Grisani's? No, that was off Dodge.
No, that was off Dodge. I don't know. It was like a newer restaurant. This was when I was like maybe 19. And I went there with my girlfriend at the time, and the reason we left, I had all intentions of paying, is I literally sat there waiting to pay my bill for almost 30 minutes, and it was just busy, and I was like, fuck this. I was like, if they're not going to fucking pay attention and come get my money, then I'm out of here. And I felt so bad for like a week. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe they're searching for me.
I'm such a piece of shit.
I was like, oh, fuck.
Did you go out with that girl again?
Oh, yeah. No, we were like dating. Like, we had been dating for a while.
I would have been like, bye, boy.
Oh, you thought it was like a first date?
Yeah.
It's cool. I paid for it already.
I took care of it. Don't worry.
I went to the bathroom and paid. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Quickly.
Oh, my God. God. No, I haven't done that. I can't even tip under 20% when I have the worst service.
Really?
No, I can't do it.
It's real. Yeah, it's real. Like I said, I like to tip.
Me too.
Like if I come in, I feel like, you don't even know that you're about to get a fucking tip.
Yep.
And so if I get bad service or they're like real terrible, then they'll just get like a regular tip. And I'll be and in my head, I'm like, you fucked up because I was going to tip you a bunch. Like you still get a tip.
I'm the same way.
But like you just get the regular tip because you were
like
off
a 10%
your game
or
today.
something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, 20% is my regular tip. If you're good, it's above and beyond that.
Yes.
But I also will I'll pay attention too. And like if I see him standing around and then I'm not getting shit, then that's when it's like, If I see they're like super busy, or if you can tell like their demeanor, like they've had a shit day, who knows what, like I work full time. So sometimes I come in here and I don't want to fucking kiss everyone's ass.
Right.
So I'll pay attention to what and kind of see what's going on. And that'll determine it most of the time too.
Yep. See, and I'm also very aware as well. But if you still give them that 20%, then they don't know that, oh, maybe I should have paid more attention.
I get a lot of people say that too, but I don't know. I always know, like, especially
because they don't know you were going to give them, 25, 30, 40%. They don't know that. When they think 20, they're like, oh, hey, I did a good job. I still got my 20%.
I guess I could see it that way. Yeah.
My mom used to, because she used to be a server as well, and when she got bad service, she would leave them 3 pennies. Because she said if you leave them nothing, then they think you just stiffed them. But if you leave them 3 pennies, they know you went out of your way to leave them those 3 pennies.
Or your penny story brings up a funny situation that happened to me one time. This was before we had automatic gratuity on our tickets. And
that's forever ago.
I had a 4 top of ladies sitting at 143 over there. And they just ran my ass the whole entire show. And they were rude as fuck. And then when they went to pay, her bill was like $23.76. And she looked at me and said, I'll need change. So I brought that bitch 24 pennies.
Oh, yeah.
And I sat it down and I walked away and she was hot. She went out to the bar and demanded the manager. And I had already told Colleen, I was like, this chick's going to be pissed. But I told her what I did and she was like, she got her change. I don't understand.
Yeah.
So then when she went out in the bar and Colleen was talking to her, Colleen's like, let me get this straight. You got your change, but you're mad. And she was like, well, she did that on purpose. And she did it. And Colleen's like, I still don't understand. You got your change. I don't understand what the problem is. That lady was so mad. And I was standing in the side station like.
Yeah, she got her comeuppance.
Yep.
It's great when Colleen, she's standing there and she's backing you up and she's doing that shit to them. Yeah. And you're just like,
Yep. Sorry.
Good luck with that, bitch.
Early on when I worked here, the gratuity thing reminded me of it. Someone got super pissed because it was on their bill, and they're like, I didn't order any gratuity. What the fuck?
Who's the comic that has the joke when the bill comes? He's like, all right, here we go. Somebody's going to say, who ordered the gratuity? Who is it that says that?
I don't
Somebody
remember.
does it.
That happened for real here.
Sure it did. People are so cheap. It's like, what do you expect? You're like, you're out at a show. Like, this is not like Taco Bell.
No.
Yes.
It's not a restaurant. It's an entertainment venue. Like,
Well, and that's the thing. If people don't view it that way, and they don't view it that way with how they act in the crowd, a lot of times, and they don't view it that way with like our prices and stuff. Like you go to a fucking NFL game these days, you're paying out of your ass for everything, beers, food, everything. And that's any major sporting event, concerts, all that shit. And this is the same thing. It's an entertainment venue. You're coming to see a show.
Yeah.
And so that's why it blows my mind a lot of time when people like don't understand that they're being too loud and that that's offensive to everyone else watching the show.
Or even before they did the 2-item minimum. And back then, I mean, that was way back, like when I first started, we did like constant free tickets, unless it was hat. It was rare that the whole weekend, it would be sold out, but it would be mostly like comps.
Yeah.
And people would literally come in and not order a thing. And you'd have multiple tables in your section like that, and so then you make no money off of that table.
And we made no money, period, because there's no ticket money, nothing.
They come in on free tickets, and then they come in and don't order anything.
And the food and booze is how we make our money anyways.
Yeah,
Colleen told me years ago that if we can get enough from the ticket sales to cover the comic for the week, then we're doing good.
Yes.
So, even though we were giving away, 150, 200 tickets a show, we were still getting the food and drink that would help cover the cost of the comic, and then go towards paying the bills.
I just don't understand the mentality of people that come in and refuse to order anything. It's like you wouldn't go to a restaurant and sit at someone's table and not order anything. And you're here for 2.5 hours and you're not going to order anything?
They'd order water. Yeah, back when water was free.
And those are the people I charge.
Do you guys have Trident? Well, and we just were talking with our guest last week, Dan, and recently when we had Colleen on, they didn't even have food at the old club down there.
Yeah.
Oh,
they didn't have a food service.
They
it was
just got
only
it from
drinks.
the bar next door, Divots. Like
Right.
a few wings. I think Dan said that his chicken wings were really good, and nachos, which was chips and cheese, and a few other bar munchies. Not even good bar food, just crap shit. And
Yeah, he said the nachos were fucking terrible.
yeah, I mean it's fucking cheese and cheese from a can and fucking yellow chips. I mean,
and that's what you could still smoke in the clubs too, right?
yeah.
Yep.
Oh man,
You worked here when we could
days.
still smoke, right? In here,
did.
yeah,
But
those are crazy.
not for very long. I think that ordinance went in maybe a year or two after I started.
Okay, and so you said you're here 14 years, so what, 2008 then, 2007?
2007.
Okay.
October 2007.
Because I was talking with that Dan talking about that with Dan after the show about smoking and in here, and I was like, I don't remember when it was, but I do remember that they were him hawing the city. Was like, do we put it in? Don't we put it in? And Colleen was like, I'm not even gonna wait for him. I'm just putting it in. And then we stopped doing smoking shows.
Yeah. Yeah, she put it in before. Maybe I wasn't here. Because you couldn't smoke, guests couldn't smoke in here. But, we would smoke in here after people left. Because I don't think it was, a full city ordinance yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they could smoke, and I think it was because I worked Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and I want to say Wednesday was smoking, Thursday was no smoking.
Oh, they did it by days that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Wednesday shows was smoking, Thursday show was no smoking, Fridays was smoking, or maybe it was just, and I think Saturdays were non-smoking, or maybe it was the late shows on both of those days were smoking, and the early ones were non-smoking.
That would make sense.
And I think Sunday was smoking as well. I can't.
That was at this club?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't here for that.
Yeah, that's back when I started.
Mhm.
So, and for 3 years, I guess if it was 2007, so around 3 years when we finally put that in place here.
How long have you been here?
17 years, coming up on 18.
Are you the longest?
Yep.
You might be second these days. No, Daryl, I think, was here for.
Sean's coming up on 15 too.
Gotcha.
There's no way. I heard that on the podcast last week. There is no way. Sean has not been here longer than me.
That's why he didn't show up today.
Yeah,
He didn't
yeah.
want to
He was
defend
gonna
You don't wanna
call
get
his ass
confronted.
out. I remember thinking that when I was like, I gotta give him shit for that. There is no way he's been here longer than me. I think it's you, Daisy Bendig, then me.
That might even be Bendig then, Daisy, was it?
I'm not sure which order those two are in,
Yeah.
but I know they're
Yeah,
ahead
yeah.
of me just by a little bit.
Yeah, not by much.
Daisy was still serving when I started.
Yeah, because I started because I'm the only one left. It was me and my wife, but since they got rid of the ticket booth,
Yeah.
and plus she hadn't worked for 2 years prior to them getting rid of the ticket booth. She's like, I'm still on the payroll. She's like, but I haven't worked in a year.
That's right.
But
That's been me from time to time.
yeah.
I've tried to quit so many times, you guys.
And then we only see you when you're going on trips. Jen must be going out to Mexico because here she's working at the club again.
That extra
Where
money.
are you going this time, Jen? You've been gone for 9 months and now you're back.
100%. Either I'm booking a trip or Colleen has begged me, please come in.
Oh, Vinny and I have had this conversation many
Yeah.
times about
Yeah.
how it's very hard to say no to
Uh-huh.
her when she places the call to you that she needs help. It's very hard to be like, I have plans, if and then you kind of work it out to where you can be there because
Oh yeah,
you want to
it
help
just
out.
happened last weekend.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, she texted me on a Monday, "Please, we're sold out. Can you come in?" And I'll check, the Facebook to see who's picked up. And I was like, "Well, I did see that a couple people already picked up. Are you sure you need me? I can make it work for you, Colleen. You know I can't say no to you, and she knows that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't abuse it, but she
No.
definitely
No, not
will
at all.
use it.
No.
Yep. It's much easier to just say no to Daisy than it is to Colleen. Mostly because I know Daisy won't be here the night that I have to work. So
Right.
then I don't have to face her if I'm sorry, I can't do it. Also, I don't think she cares as much. Colleen will be like,
Yeah.
But she also does so much for everybody outside of that like.
Yes.
You don't want to disappoint Colleen. You don't want to let her down.
No,
yeah.
she's like
fuck.
second mom around here.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what everyone says. Who's
Dan said that too.
Yeah, Dan said that last week.
Yeah, you don't want to disappoint Colleen.
No.
Sorry, Daisy. Daisy is like the older sister. You're like, who cares,
yeah.
right?
You're like, I should listen
She'll
to
get
you,
over
but
it.
yeah, she'll be all right.
But with Colleen, you don't know. I mean, she is literally the only reason why I'm still here.
Yeah.
I've tried to quit so many times.
You have. You honestly have.
I know. Like,
can't do
it's been fun working with you.
Yeah.
I think the last couple
later.
times, I think right after the pandemic when I saw you, I was like, you still work here?
I was just as shocked as you were. Too.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was happy to see you.
Oh,
but I was
yeah.
just like,
Every
what the fuck?
time.
I thought I made it pretty clear. No, but God, she's the greatest. I mean, my nieces have grown up knowing her. They all call her Fun. She sends them gifts like my sister-in-law loves Rolling Stones too. And so whenever she gets a second item of something, or, cause she gets so much stuff from people, she'll be like, give this one to your niece, or she's great. She's like a part of the family.
Yeah.
My parents love her. My whole family knows her.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, my brother,
I'm saying your brother worked here.
Yeah, he worked here too. And so.
We should have had him on at the same time.
I know. I was going to suggest it, but I thought, I don't know.
we'll do an episode with him, and then we'll bring you both back.
Okay.
How about
Yeah, that does sound good.
that sounds good. I don't think we haven't had the siblings angle yet.
I don't think so.
And there's not a lot of siblings that have worked here.
I think he was a little jealous.
Just Daryl and Dylan.
Daryl and Dylan, and because Joe don't work here no more with Ty, and
I think he was a little jealous when I texted him.
Oh,
and told
really?
him that I was coming on. He was
shit.
like, what? And I was like, yeah, sorry.
we've been talking for a while about getting you on here, and it's just trying to make everything work out, and just finally worked
We're
out.
more on our game in 2022.
We are.
Like.
Okay,
we haven't missed an episode
I'll
yet.
accept that excuse because I was wondering when the invite was going to come around.
You're like, come on, motherfuckers.
Yeah. I was like, this is about a server's perspective. I'm the only one that's been here for like 14 years.
I mean, that's true. This is very true.
Yeah. You have seniority on the servers.
Well, I don't know about that anymore.
Well, you're still here, right? I mean, even though you were gone, you're still on the payroll. That counts, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Could you MOD a shift if you had to? Still?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
I could totally do it.
I should have known.
Do
That's
all
a
the
stupid question.
all the reports and all the bullshit at the end of the night.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
could do those in my sleep. I think I could serve in my sleep, too.
Probably.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I could see you doing that.
Although it is nice not to have those server nightmares anymore because that's a real thing. And especially when Hat was
I've
here.
heard about
oh,
this.
my God. When Hat was here, because we had, 6 shows? 8 shows.
8 shows, yeah.
8 shows a weekend. And back then I was in school. So that's all I was doing for work was working here. And I would work all 8 shows and I would have nightmares, especially those weekends because you were so busy and you would get so tired. And it was just all you did for those 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or I guess 5, right? Because we were Thursday.
Were you here Wednesday too?
Yeah,
Because we started
were
Wednesday.
here Wednesdays.
Wednesday, 1 show Wednesday, 1
Uh-huh.
Thursday, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday, and then 1 Monday.
Oh, they did Wednesday and Sunday.
Yeah, and Monday. He would do his X-rated show on Mondays, and then he stopped staying over an extra day, and then he would do the X-rated show on late Sunday,
Yeah.
and those sucked.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then so yeah,
Why?
but either way, that's
What
still
was
8
going on at the X-rated show? I never saw one of those.
Filthy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
He would bring
He'd do
blow up
dolls, blow up dick,
blow up
big 6 foot
dicks.
blow up dick, and it's great. You'd go in the green room and you'd see Margie or you'd see the host or whoever there with him with their mouth on this gigantic dick as they're blowing it up, or the blow up doll, and it's like, oh hey, how's it going?
I think she had big old open lips on her too.
The open mouth, and well, and he had a couple for a while that had giant tits on it.
Oh yeah.
You remember that one? But then the guys popped the tits, and so then he had to get a new one.
The hypnotized guys?
Oh yeah, because he would give it to him, and he would.
And they just go to town on it? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
It was.
God
Usually
damn
it was during the song. He would do it during the song bit. He'd make somebody a singer, like the songs that he ruined for Dan and I that we're talking about in the
Right,
last episode,
right.
like Aretha Franklin, Joan Jett, Justin Bieber, Britney Spears, all this stuff like that. And then he would, during the X-rated show, he'd give him the doll, and then they'd be standing looking at it, and then sometimes the guys would look at Hat and confusing and be like, "Go to town," and so then they would start fucking this doll and making it blow them and bend it over chairs.
Oh my God! Put it in between people.
Yeah,
there was all.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
In those X-rated shows, was there ever significant others out there that were getting pissed off about that shit? Like we had it. I saw it one time with not the other guy, not Hat, where this fucking guy got real pissed. This lady was humping the air.
Yeah.
No. What it was the part where he tells, and I think he stole this bit too, but he tells the women they have penises and the dudes they have vaginas and makes them masturbate.
Oh,
and so she was jerking her fake dick off. And this guy got fucking mad as fuck. And I think someone out there was like, "Hey, like, you know it's fake. Like, she doesn't have a dick." And he was so fucking outraged.
I don't think we did. I think people knew what they were getting
What they were
into.
getting into.
X-rated
Yeah.
one,
That makes sense.
To any Hat show, I think.
No, there were people that would get pissed off about their people up there about their significant others doing stuff. Usually it was dudes getting pissed off about girls. Because whenever a guy was up there making an ass of himself, the girls would fucking love it. Especially if they were being real bad or like usually like they'd end up in like they'd take their shirts off during the song and they'd head in another dude's lap as they fell asleep. Hat would have sometimes he'd like bring the lights up. He's like, who's with this dude? And so then he'd go in here like, get up here and take a quick picture quick. So she'd fucking get there with a picture of his head in another dude's lap while they're both shirtless. And
there will never be anything like Cat again.
no.
It was crazy.
Yeah. And sold out shows every week.
Every 6 weeks. That's how I paid rent.
Yeah.
And I could make it in a weekend.
Did you hear that weird shit?
Yeah. Hats here, man.
That's crazy. I heard that too.
Yeah, something cracking back there or something. It's like a hat.
We do have an email to read later where where Adam
do?
asks us a few questions, and one of them is about haunted shit here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I swear to God.
Okay, so when I used to MOD, well, I'm a scaredy cat in general. Like, I don't even like to walk out of the building by myself.
Yeah, I know.
But
I walked you out many a night.
Yeah, no, I do remember this.
But especially if I'm MODing, like, I do not like to be the only person in here, and especially after Hat passed. And there was this one time. Do you guys remember the server Bryce?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
So he was waiting for me, and I was doing my cash out in the office, and we were talking, and then all of a sudden we heard, like, it sounded like there was literally a conversation going on in the
In the bar?
not in the office, what's
The green room?
in the ticket booth.
Oh, ticket booth.
Because there's that little
yeah,
window.
yeah. There's a window
Yeah.
there.
So-
So,
and
yes.
we both stopped and we're like, "Did you hear that?" Because I know that the doors were closed.
Right.
I
Yeah.
made sure the doors were closed. Nobody else was in here but us. And he was like, "I heard that. Did you hear that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then we stopped, and it stopped. And then a little while longer, we were standing there, and we heard like a big kind of thud. And I was like, "We're getting the fuck out of here." I'll text Colleen and tell her I'll finish tomorrow morning. I'll come in early, but we are getting the fuck out of here.
I think I remember that story.
Yes, it was terrifying. Oh yeah, and like when I used to have to come in here to turn the lights off, I scale the walls like into the server station and all. Because let's read that question because I'm pretty sure
You might have answered a little bit of it. Well, I know one thing before you read it. I think when you read it, the first thing he's asking is if we still want him to email, because he emails us quite a bit. I owe him a T-shirt for sure. And the answer to that, buddy, Adam, is keep emailing us. We love the interaction, dude, and so just keep it up.
Oh, yeah, because this is
We appreciate you listening. We appreciate the emails.
March 3rd. Okay, yeah.
So yeah, last week sometime, maybe when the episode came out.
Well, and so the other thing was it was probably 12:30, right? So even the front doors downstairs were locked.
Right.
The Village Point office is like. I mean, there was no way anyone else was.
Security's gone by that point.
Yeah. That time. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so there's nobody.
Ooh, God, it gives me the goosebumps just thinking about it. That was the craziest.
Oh, you were making the hair stand up on my arms, or
I know, right?
Or hat was.
So
I just don't know.
weird.
Yeah. Well, fucking my right side is feeling all fucking
Well, that's where it happened.
chilly.
It was right over there.
I know. It's my fucking right side, man.
We miss you, Hat. It's cool.
Yeah, we fucking love you, man. Fucking.
I miss you too, because I never got to know you, but I did see you. It was a great show.
He would have liked you.
He would have loved
If you would have loved him too.
I would have loved him.
Yeah.
I already know it. I did. That's one thing that I do regret, like coming here and starting a job here later on, because I should have came up here a long time ago, but I didn't know that I was going to be like this into comedy, or that this place, even though they kind of existed as far as like going there to work. Like I had been to the Funny Bone on 114th for a while, but it never entered into my mind. And then I used to have a job at Creighton University where I'd help clean shit up. It was in the arts department, but I'd help clean shit up and help do shit for the plays they were going to do and stuff like that, like getting the scenery set up and things like that, and doing other bullshit. And my office was like the boiler room. So there's like no windows or anything. And that's when I started listening. That's when podcasts, I think it was probably later on in Rogan's podcast, but it was when podcasts started becoming huge for everybody. And like a lot of comedians were doing it. I started listening to them. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm like these people. I should probably go fucking hang out at a comedy club. Like those are my people. And so then I came up here and applied, and the same like everyone else. I think I watched a show and they were like, can you start tomorrow? And I'm like,
See,
yeah, I absolutely can start tomorrow. So, and I just, I wish that I would, because I started not that long after he passed. So I wish I would have got to see him and actually work with him. So that'll always, be something that I wish would have happened, but I still love every moment that I've been here. So,
yeah, I mean, because we've tried to, we've had other hypnotists in here, and
yeah, we talked about him a few times.
Yeah, but not just him, but there's a couple others that we had through here. And they you just
it's not the same.
No,
not even close.
Because it wasn't just and I've said it before, it wasn't just the hypno show. It was him. It was his persona. It was his infectious laugh. It was the way that he did things, his stories, his jokes, his demeanor, like even the between bits, like when he's not got anybody up doing anything. Everyone up there is asleep and people are in the fucking crowd laughing.
Yes.
Because it's just the way that he's talking, his facial reactions, his tone. I mean, everything he did just,
yeah. He
came alive on stage and people, loved it. And you
his evil laugh is one thing I remember. And like I only saw him twice, and it was a long time ago, but it's in my head. Like I wish I could. It's like it was so evil. It was awesome. It was so awesome.
He was so genuinely nice too.
Oh yeah.
And we get comics that come in here, once a year or so. They always shuffle through, right? But some of them get to a point where they're not cool anymore. They're too big for who they think they are, and especially after I've seen a lot of these comics over the last 14 years come in here every year, and it's like, Hat was never like that.
No.
He always came in and was nice to everyone. I remember always having to stand outside that door and hold the ashtray for him during when he was putting people under.
During the hit induction.
There was always a server designated to stand at that door and hold the ashtray and have a cigarette lit for him, because he would be putting people under, and then he'd come back.
Because he had a wireless mic.
Dude, someone would be designated as the ashtray girl.
That's great.
I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. He gave Colleen like a big bushel of sage before he had passed. And
she still has it in there.
I still have mine too. She gave me a little piece of it. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So
anyways, but that's when I would have all my server nightmares, and I would literally like wake up in sweats and be like, did that shit really fucking happen? Where you like walk in and you're the only server, but the showroom is sold out. Everyone wants ranch, wants this, wants that. And then I would be the manager, I'd be the bartender. You'd play every role. It'd be like that
fucking Bugs Bunny cartoon where he's fucking every position on the baseball field.
Yes, and that shit is real. And the only time I've ever had them since Hat was when we have TJ Miller, because his shows are always so crazy busy too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I'm pretty cool now. I'll probably have a nightmare about that office thing, though.
Yeah, I know, right? Bringing it back up. You're like, oh, fuck, I had forgotten about that. I had just gotten over that. And now we're fucking digging that Band-Aid out.
Oh, shit.
I'm interested to hear the podcast to see if it distorted anything when this
I know,
chair
right? When that fucking clunk back there.
Well, it wasn't a chair, was
no,
it?
I don't know what it was.
It wasn't.
I'm just saying that these chairs moved so that I feel better about it.
You're never going to want to be here by yourself again either. I promise you.
Well, he comes up here and sets up by himself
I do.
before we get here, so fucking don't spook him.
I always, I feel like I'm sensitive to that shit, so I always like, I keep my ears open and like I'm real like when I'm here by myself, like what's gonna happen? Like I'm waiting for something to happen, and nothing. Yeah. When I've been by myself, nothing's really. I haven't heard any sounds or anything yet.
Now you will.
Yeah, I know, right?
Maybe.
Everything's gonna be a sound now.
I think the worst is having to go back and check the kitchen.
Oh yeah,
that was why I originally started making someone stay with me, because they would always shut the lights off when they were done because they'd get done before us, and I'd have to go back and check the fryers, make sure everything was turned off. And oh God, it just was creepy walking back there, the lights off, and I always tell him, leave the fucking lights on. Yeah. He never left the lights on.
Even when I worked, when Ticket Booth was still open, and sometimes I still work during the day, but when I used to work the day deliveries. Sometimes all the lights would be turned off because they'd be here super early, and I'd have to walk back there. And during the daytime, it's because there's no windows, it's fucking dark as shit back there.
It's
like
creepy.
It'd be when I first started doing that, I'd forget where the lights were on the wall, and I'd have to like feel around everywhere and like find like, oh, here it is. I have a guy with the delivery behind me, like, hurry the fuck up, dude.
Like, this shit's heavy.
So yeah, it gets creepy in here.
Sure does.
I feel like there's been a lot of nights that we've been in here after like New Year's or something, staying after drinking and stuff that, I really haven't. So it's not all the time, which is, I think, how spirits operate.
Yeah.
They don't care what time it is.
That is true.
They don't.
That's very, very true.
But it's like 7:30 right now. It's not like the witching hour.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of New Year's, did you know that Jen and I made out on New Year's Eve one night?
Wait, what?
Made out.
Hey, that's how it went down in my head.
Pretty sure it was just a lip kiss, and your wife said it was okay.
Details.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
I think it was everyone on New Year's just does that, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do,
was,
right?
Yeah.
So it was a New Year's Eve, and I had to work, and Jen used to come out, before we had kids and stuff, and I don't know, I think I mentioned that you were working that night, and Jen goes, and before that she was like, don't kiss anybody. I'm like, all right, now I'm not gonna kiss anybody. And so then I mentioned you work. She's like, she goes, well, you can give Jen Muller a kiss. I was like, really?
Why? Because they have the same name?
Yes, yeah. She goes, Jen's cool, and I like her, and we have the same name. I was like, okay.
I got the pass.
Yeah.
Valid reasons.
So on New Year's, after I played the thing, I went out and gave Jen a kiss for New Year's Eve.
That was my best New Year's Eve yet.
Me too.
That's awesome.
And I think that year, if I'm not mistaken, that year is when you had gotten a boyfriend for a while. And while
that 1 year.
Yes. And while it didn't turn out very well because it was only a small kiss. So what I'm saying is, if you want to find someone, maybe we should make out a little bit more.
Oh, that was the secret?
It's these lips, man.
I don't want to find somebody bad enough to work New Year's Eve again.
Why do we have to do it New Year's Eve?
Okay.
Let's shut these cameras off and
then we could work it out.
Why do we have to shut the cameras off?
Because my wife might watch.
I am a classy lady. We don't need to be kissing and telling here.
I'm going Facebook Live right now. Nobody do got to take pictures.
That's not even the craziest shit that's happened here, though,
God,
after
no.
hours.
No.
I'm still listening and talking. I just got to take some pictures.
Because, you guys used to hang out here all fucking hours.
Oh, my God. Until the birds were chirping. Literally. There were so many mornings we would walk out and not even know. And the birds are chirping, the sun's coming up, and we're like, like 6 o'clock in the morning. We all have to be back here at 5.
Yeah.
12 hours.
Because you guys are doing it on a Friday night.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Every night. If it wasn't here, it was at somebody's house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those were crazy days when I first started. It was so crazy the first couple of years I was here. Like, I quit drinking for 3 years after.
I remember that. I've got a picture of you holding up a non-alcoholic champagne on New Year's Eve because
Colleen
you
got that
drink.
for me. She's so sweet. See, that's how sweet she is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, we used to every night And if it wasn't here, like I said, it would be at a bar or somebody's house, and shit would get crazy. And it finally got to the point where I was like, okay, you need to take a break.
I feel
or maybe my parents said that. I don't know.
Oh, the truth comes out now. I thought you were being responsible. Here, you're just getting yelled at by mom and dad.
No, I took a 3-year break.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be that long, but then it ended up being that long. Probably good.
Well, everyone here is like family, and Colleen calls us our misfit clowns or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And so, like, you put that together with booze, because I got it on the tail end of that right before we got canceled from drinking.
Yeah.
And it was nothing we did. I
No.
falsely accused you before the show.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you were the reason for that.
Rightfully so. I understand. That was an easy assumption.
But still to this day, and we've had them on before, Allison and Katie, if I drink with them, it's going to be an all-night thing, and everyone's going to be just blackout hammered by the end of the night. And it doesn't matter if we, like, set out to do that or not. That's just how it's going to happen.
It ends up.
Every time.
Every time.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah.
it's fucking...
Jen's like, yep, I'm aware.
I just saw Allie, or maybe it was around Christmas. I went over to her apartment and we were hanging out, and I was like, I brought a half a bottle of wine, and I was like, this is it. I'm just get a couple glasses of wine. That was at like, I don't know, maybe 8 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I fucking roll, get an Uber and roll home. Like, God damn it.
It's just too much fun.
Every time. Every time. We used to have, like, do you remember when, like, Chad and, oh, God, what were all the, like, Mike Lehman.
Yeah.
Remember, were you here when we would have them run around and do races around the showroom?
Yes.
Well, that sounds fun. Sounds like something I'd be into.
Because we would all sit up in the back in the 300s. I don't even know where this started or why it started, but Mike would just run around like Sonic, just run around
Yeah.
the room.
He was just being a spaz.
Yeah.
Like Sonic.
Yeah, he would.
He was like a short little redheaded Sonic.
Because, you know, all the table, the chairs would be up, you know, and stuff. And I was texting Renee and Eric and Tammy, like, you know, remind me of some funny shit we used to do, because sometimes some of this stuff is like, I just black it out. It's been so long.
I know.
But and I said, you know, we got to talk about how Mike Lehman used to run around here and do circles around. And they were like, but then do you remember the time that he challenged Bill Burr, or not Bill Blanks? And so they were racing, and Bill fell and like broke his ankle, and he was on crutches the rest of the weekend.
Oh, I do not remember this. No.
I think Renee reminded me about that part. I forgot about that part, but I could close my eyes and see Mike running around this showroom like a little leprechaun.
Zoom. This is real funny to me because I've been challenging people to race.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Do you win?
Well, because
He hasn't raced yet.
I
He
fucking
makes a
all
lot of
race
fucking
anyone.
threats.
You just fell down the stairs texting, bro. I don't think you should be racing people. That sounds very unsafe.
Good call.
I mean, you got a point. This all started because there's a man that was a comedian who's passed away who said I was too slow walking him from the stage.
Oh, yeah.
And
I was not here that
I
weekend.
feel like I'm being haunted by him.
So that was him.
Possibly. Well, I
No.
fell down the stairs. Like, this isn't what you didn't hear the whole story. And then the first time I went out of the house, I was in line at the grocery store, and I look over, and there's a magazine rack. And this is how it is. That guy, Bob Saget's eyes, and it doesn't say the magazine name. It just says Bob Saget. It's like it wasn't even a magazine. And I look over, and I'm like, are you fucking shitting me right now? And it just had came out that, like, he hit his head and shit. And I was like, dude, I've been talking way too much shit, or feeling, you know, being like I was mad because he was a kind of a dick to us, but I'm trying to like be cool about
What
it.
did he say you were too slow at?
He told the guys on Saturday, because he wanted someone to walk him from stage, that I was way too slow, and I sauntered. Which is
what he
fucking calling me a fat ass.
Yeah.
But like, and here's the thing is I was confused because he did tell me to go fast. But like, as we were leaving the stage, he would put his hand on my back, and he wasn't like doing that like move. He was just... But he was doing that to like push me to go faster. I thought he was using me because it was dark to like guide him through the room. So I was walking slow on purpose so I didn't lose him. So I fucked up. So I'm fucking Fat Davis who can't walk, and I'll fucking race anyone because I'm super fast for how fat I am. You ask my cousin.
And my mom.
And anyone who sees me run, I don't have to run, so I don't. I'll fucking race anybody. Dunsinger, you're first. You fucking challenged me, bitch. Sorry, it's a sensitive subject.
Getting fired up.
I was going to write an apology letter to Mr. Saget, but I haven't done that yet.
Is it on the list with all the other shit?
Yeah,
to
it
do?
is.
That never gets done.
You still
T-shirts.
could and then burn it, and then maybe that would.
That's what I've been told because I have been predicting stuff lately. I was going to change my name to Nostradamus. It's scaring my wife, and my wife told Allie, who we were just talking about it, and she said that she told my wife to tell me to start writing that shit down and burning it after, so it doesn't fucking happen. Because I've been having like I'll think about something, then it fucking happens. Or like a couple weeks ago, I asked my wife about 2 people she hasn't talked to forever, and they literally called the next couple of days. Like weird shit like that. That's been like where I can point it out, and she knows that it happens, and then she's like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah.
And I don't know if like I hit my head, and so now I fucking can predict shit. I'm trying to like think about this nuclear war shit, see if I can predict it.
Yeah.
If it's gonna happen or not.
I have that shit happen, but it's usually with like fucking TV shows, like The Simpsons or Futurama or something like that, where I'll say something and then, just quoting an episode, and then like within 2 days, that fucking episode will pop on.
No way.
Yeah, like it happens like all the time. And we were at Buffalo Wild Wings, and they were doing a trivia thing, and Madonna song,
Like a virgin.
no, but it was another like a something. Like a
prayer.
Prayer, yes.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
that came out. I was like, that's not a Madonna song. And then it fucking came up, and I was like, oh, that is a Madonna song. Jen's like, yeah. And she starts trying to sing it. I was like, yeah, I don't know that I've ever heard that song. And then 2 fucking days. That was on a Tuesday. And then on Thursday, when I was leaving from here, I happened to be flipping through the channels, stopped on Star 104.5. It came back from commercial, and that fucking song was playing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And so I told Jen that, and she goes, that shit happens to you all the time. I was like, yeah, I have no idea. It's just so random. Like, of all the fucking chances and all that shit to happen.
Is there any meaning of it? Like,
No.
What does Madonna
it's
mean?
I don't know.
What does Madonna mean?
What does this episode of The Simpsons that I was quoting 2 days prior mean? Like, who knows?
It's weird. Weird.
So yours is about, people and shit. Mine is about stupid shit.
Yeah, it's weird shit. Like, it just comes out of nowhere, and I'll fucking say something, and then, like, literally it'll happen. Or there's been a couple times where I've dreamed something, and then that shit happens, and that shit freaks me out more. Is if I dream about something, and then that shit comes true, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a lot of times I don't remember. Like, obviously, they say you dream just about every night, but I don't remember it. But the ones I remember usually are so vivid, like they feel like they're actual memories, like that something happened. And those are the ones that are usually like, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'll say it or I won't say it. And then that makes me feel even crazier because then it'll happen, but I'm the only one that knew because I didn't tell anyone my dream. So then I'll try to be like, yeah, I dreamt this shit and then it happened. And
they're like,
yeah, okay, fuckhead. Like, sure you did. I'm like, this
of
guy's
course you
fucking
did.
crazy.
He hit his head last week. Say, okay.
Explain some things.
Start putting it in your notes on your phone because then it'll timestamp it.
Yeah, I know. I've always been told to take notes, and I never do.
I heard you also make like notes and never get to those either.
Yeah, this is fucking true. It's called working your list. And as long as I do one thing on there, I'm working it.
You work it.
Yeah, you work it, Davis.
You are working it.
So what is like the craziest thing you could think of that ever happened with a customer, with a comic, anything? Like, I think I've talked about it before. like Lunel passed out on stage one time. I don't know if I talked about that on here, but I do still have a video of that.
I didn't know you took a video.
I have
of
a
that.
video of it. I have a couple videos.
Shit.
I don't know what to do with. I don't feel like we should release them, but I probably
not.
maybe on Patreon.
Ooh, that'll be like the $50 tier.
I do remember that. I think she was drinking like Tidy Bowls all night, and she kept keep them coming. Let's see. When you clean the bathrooms, you find crazy shit. Like I found panties in the women's restroom often.
They don't need those, huh?
I guess not.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's always.
Well, do you think it's a situation where there's some poop on them?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they're
They're
ever
not soiled.
poopy.
You just get rid of
They're
them 'cause-
soiled. No, they would be soiled.
Oh.
Like yeah. Like,
Well, and they're not warm, but like there's no shit or blood or
No.
nothing in them.
no, like they peed their pants.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Women throw away their panties for piss?
Yeah.
We clearly do not.
would.
We clearly do not.
No.
dude-
You just wash them.
That's what dudes
Yeah.
are sick of. No.
But don't you pay like $25 for a pair of
Shit,
panties?
if you're going from a show out to the bar, you're not going to go around in pee pants.
I
Oh,
shit
my
my
God,
pants on an
Commando's even-
airplane. I still have them.
You
I still wear them. They're my lucky shorts. I wore them for basketball games.
disgusting. Those are your lucky shorts.
Oh
you
yeah,
shit
they
in.
washed the shit out. I threw the underwear away.
Your wife is way too good for you.
That's what everyone
yeah.
says.
He knows he outkicked his coverage.
Ty Walsh got real pissed when I told that story because he's like, Jesus Christ, this lady loves you. You fucking shit your pants. Some fucking special kid's laying snotting on you on the airplane. It's like, Jesus Christ. And he's right.
He's not wrong.
Oh my God. That special kid that happens to me all the time. Like,
really?
Don't think you're
At
cool
work.
because of that.
You're in that environment. though.
I wasn't wearing deodorant at the time. He was very attractive to me. My pheromones.
I'm sure. Do you remember the old guy that used to come in here? We'd call him the farmer. I don't know if he actually was a farmer, but he'd come in with some young little thing that looked like Pamela Anderson. She had
Yep.
tits like out to here.
We were talking about him
She
the other
was
night.
like this big around, but her boobs were out to here. She came in and she would order pineapple tequila.
Yeah.
And I don't think he maybe would get like a beer or two. He was an awesome tipper, so everybody fought over him. But it was obviously an escort situation. So that was weird.
And they came out for years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's been a lot of, you can pick an escort situation out here a lot. We're not shaming you. You just know we know what's going on.
Yeah,
all right?
Yeah.
Just like first dates, like you can pick those out too.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Those are always awkward as hell. I don't think the craziest thing. I mean, you guys talked about this last week, but the blind guy
Yeah.
at the show, that was
we've
crazy.
talked about
That was
I mean, I
fun.
think
Why didn't you
that's-
jump in and help me? Come on, Jen. You
karate
saw us
chopped the
wrestling
shit
with
out
the
of him.
fucking guy on the ground. You could have come fucking helped us.
I wasn't as confident in my strength back then. I was pretty new, I think, when that happened.
No.
Yeah.
No, it hadn't been. No. That was a more, I would say that's probably within like the last 7 years.
I was here when that happened. I didn't work that night. That was the first time, and I always say this, and I'm jinxing it right now, is I'm never here when the craziest shit happens.
Wait till your dreams tonight.
Fuck.
You just jinxed everyone in this showroom.
I know, right? Especially since this motherfucker's going to be gone for a month.
That is true. I think I was in Arizona, and that was my first year working here, I believe. And all I saw, like, there was a Facebook post that, like, came up, like, Funny Boner's post or whatever, and I look at it, and it was a picture from, like, this hallway out, and I think Vinny was, like, on the ground. And I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on? And because all it was that picture at first. And I was like, holy shit. And then I think I texted somebody that was working that night or something. It might have been Vinny. And I got the story and I was like, what the fuck? And that happens all the time where there's like something outrageous that happens here. And Davis is out of town or Davis is gone. I've never seen Titus here, even though he comes all the time, because I'm always, and this time I'll be gone for the baby when he comes. So I never get to see Titus for some reason. the universe does not want me and Titus in the same room for some fucking reason. I don't know what it is.
I've chosen not to be in the same room as Titus anymore.
The universe has nothing to do with that.
No, the universe has nothing to do with that.
Is that because he wears a Madonna-style headset?
I didn't know he did that now.
Oh, yeah,
I think he
little
used to.
fucking-
I think I heard that.
I think he still does.
No, it's not because of that. And I used to think it was funny, but after you've worked here for so long, right, it's just a job.
Right.
And when you get comics that come up here and they go way fucking over their time,
Yes.
like I could have been selling a ton more booze, you know. Just tell us, be real, dude. I'm doing 2 hours, you know. Like,
Right.
if you're gonna, because he does it every show.
Right,
And
right.
It's not just him; it's you know who they are. But then we still have to cover our asses and make sure that those bills are, you know, caught and done.
Right.
In case he does get done on time, you know. Then you sit around here forever and ever and ever, and I think.
Well, and we talked about that last week too. Is you guys are given a time that we as sound guys are given by the comedians about this is when I want my light, so I'll be off stage here. And so when they run that light, it fucks everything up pretty much because you guys stopped serving drinks if he's going 2 hours over fucking hours ago. So literally everyone's doing nothing except watching this, which after, like you said, after you've seen a guy 14 fucking times and they say they're telling the same jokes, you're like, I fucking want to go home.
Yeah.
I have to do shit tomorrow, you know?
Or I've worked all day before that.
Right.
And I'm like, come on.
Especially on those Friday shows because it's so busy, that first show goes long, and then the second show starts late, and then it's even later now, so it's fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, fuck, come on, get off the stage.
I think there was a Eddie Griffin was the worst at that.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why it pissed me off the most was because by the time he was done, he was so drunk, and there was maybe, I don't know, half the tables in here that
they all left.
Everyone was leaving. People from the front row were leaving, and it's like at that point, come on, man.
Well, and that's the thing. I feel like an hour, like that's why people do hour specials on like Netflix or whatever, or like 50 minutes, because that's about how much comedy you can take from like you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Obviously, there's different people that could sit and watch comedy all night long, but I feel like, especially like, you know, the Comedy Store or whatever, they have different comics coming up every 15 minutes for fucking hours throughout the night where it's just the same guy. I think we've talked about it on here before about Ned Mencia. Fucking, he was like doing shit. Yeah. People were walking out, and he was like, it was like he was gonna do stand up until his flight left at like 3 a.m. Like he just kept going and going. And it's like, dude, like, and everyone was walking out. Like the room was half full, maybe less than half full by the time he got off the stage because people were just worn out from it. You know.
No, I love working here, and I love the comics. And I mean, I just drove 3 hours to KC to watch Ryan Sickler. Like,
that's right.
Did you?
God, he was so good. I mean, I follow it. I love it, but it's also like just know your crowd. Like nobody wants to sit here for 2 hours,
right?
Yep.
Or like just tell us then, so we can all
Well, and that's the thing. Just let us know so we can keep serving drinks. You guys can keep making money. You know, whatever.
Club can keep making money.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
So, yeah, it kind of hampers everything when they do that.
There was one year when John Paul went super over and Colleen went and got that. We used to have a PVC pipe that was maybe like this long, and it had a one of those yellow like rubber kitchen cleaning gloves, but it was like somebody had packed something in it. So it was like a hard, big like hand and it was on this pole. And he was up here, and I don't even remember how long he went, but Colleen was like, go get the pole. So I don't remember who did it, but they stood right there and was like, okay, it's time to go. That's fucking awesome. That must have been before you got flashlights back there.
Oh, no, he ran the lights.
I'm sure he did.
Because that was back when he was drinking, and when he was drinking, those shows would go long.
They would. Mm-hmm.
I've seen her come to the side of the stage. I think it was TJ, and just look and just be staring at him like a mom and just doing this. She didn't even say anything. He'd like look over at her and then be like, guys, I gotta go.
Yeah. Awesome. I gotta go.
Oh, shit.
Just tapping her watch. Because TJ likes to go over also, but he's one that doesn't bother me because I feel like his shit's so like every show's almost different with him. Like there is a lot that's the same, but he just goes off on tangents sometimes.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he's one that doesn't bother me as much, but he also doesn't go over by hours. So.
Right. 10, 15 minutes is cool.
Right.
That we can handle. But when they're going over by an hour and a half, I mean, do you remember what Eddie Griffin was?
How long he went?
Yeah,
I think he was like an hour 45. I think it was like
I've
a whole
heard-
nother show.
Yeah.
I've heard other podcasts or other comedians or people that have worked at comedy clubs complain about him like throughout the years of just listening to podcasts, that he is one that like he just doesn't care. He's going to go off.
Yeah.
He's also the dude, doesn't he get like a new pair of Jordans
New
or
pair of
some shit
Nikes.
every time he goes?
Every show.
Uh-huh.
Every show.
Every
Yeah.
show?
Every show.
He wanted a new pair of Air Force One, white Air Force Ones for
Every show.
Every show.
He'd wear it and then ditch him.
Uh-huh.
Was Shields the sponsor that week?
I don't know.
Colleen didn't do that. That's what she's so great, because she'll get some of these writers in and be like, no.
Yeah.
When I was an MOD and she would show me some of these and I'd be like, holy shit, we're really doing that? She's like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, some of them are pretty crazy
Yeah.
when you look at them, yeah.
Well, and then, when TJ started putting that crazy shit in his writer just to see if people would do it. And then Colleen would do it and go above and beyond. Like when he wanted a pinata. In his fucking,
I remember that.
He wanted a pinata in the fucking green room. It was in his writer. So Colleen goes and gets him a pinata and fills it with a whole bunch of KY jelly.
Yeah.
And condoms and a bunch of shit.
And then she put little airplane liquor bottles in it.
Oh, yeah.
And we all got to hit it after.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because he didn't want nothing to do with it. He didn't.
He just put it in there to make sure they...
Yep. See if they were reading it.
Yeah.
Oh, TJ. There's some good memories with TJ.
Yeah.
He's a fun one. I think the first time he was here was when we all went out after the show. We went out to somebody's house after we were working. And I'm not a pot smoker. I don't really love it, but I love to drink, right? So
Yeah. We know.
We're there. And he's got a nebulizer that he
he used to travel with that
Yeah,
thing.
he would try. So he brought that, and so some people were partaking, and he's like, "Come on,
Wait, like a fucking, like the mat, like...
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he made that into a pot smoking thing?
Yeah. Like he put
he would get it through security."
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then he'd be sitting in the fucking green room with the fucking fucking between shows.
I have to wear that to be able to live like... Son of a bitch. You mean I could have weed in
You
it?
could have been putting weed
this
in the whole time.
While I'm sleeping?
You fucked up.
Son
Still
of a bitch.
good.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're there, and he's like, "Come on, just have take a little." And I'm like, "No, I'm good. And I'm so naive to that stuff. I looked at the kitchen table and I was like, the only way I'm gonna smoke pot with you is if we can smoke it out of that pineapple. And he's like, okay. And he goes, gets the pineapple and makes it into a bong or whatever. And then he's like, here you go. And I'm like, well, fuck, then I had to do it. I was like,
Did you think he was going to do this?
No, I-
that's
no.
You were
that
just
was
being a
your
complete
move?
smart
yeah,
ass.
I was so naive to I had no idea you could do that.
He's like, all right,
yeah.
fuck it. I
Fuck it.
will.
We'll do
Yeah,
it.
2 seconds later, I was smoking out of a
Here you
pineapple
go, idiot.
with TJ Miller. And I remember a friend, I didn't drive home, but whoever was driving home, we drove down Dodge Street. I lived down on in Benson, and just being like, oh, watching all of the signs as we drive down Dodge Street. And I mean, I've never been that high before. And that was a long time ago, and I haven't been that high again. That's the kind of, we used to that's how it's a lot different now, though, is back in when probably the first at least 5 years I was here, we would party with all the comics.
Yeah.
We would stay here. We'd go, all over the place. And they have a much calmer staff now, which I'm sure Colleen is thrilled with.
Yeah.
We're talking. It has more of a, if you can even compare it to like a corporate vibe. Like we were trying to tell
Yeah.
Dan that Colleen told me actually when she was listening to it, she's like, one of the differences is, and she's like, I'm not talking shit about those guys. She's like, you and Vinny have keys to this club. I would have never fucking given keys to anybody.
I have keys to the club.
at the old club,
the
like
old
Dan
club.
and those guys. She's like, I would have never given Sean Gannett and those guys. She's like, you guys have run of this place because I trust you. She's like, I would have never given those guys fucking anything. Which proves what we were saying, that it was more like Wild West, 80s, 90s style down there where it wasn't as corporate, as it is now.
Yeah.
And not that it's like super
professional.
corporate
It's
here.
professional.
It's professional.
Yes.
That's a good word for it.
It is professional.
We are professionals.
It was
That's right.
professional when I first started.
Well, okay. I should have been saying professional with the quotes, air quotes.
Colleen only had one rule, and that was don't sleep with the comics. That
Yeah.
was her only rule.
That's a great rule.
It was. And nobody did that I know of. And I
Well,
think
There's one girl I
one-
feel like that was trying to sleep with TJ that I've heard. I don't think he like the story I heard is he didn't want anything to do with her, but like on the nights that he was here, and this is just hearsay for sure when we're out on the patio, is I heard that she would like change out of her work outfit into something like real scandalous and like go hang out in the green room with him, like really like trying to be like,
I wish
like,
I remembered who this was. 'Cause I remember
I
the
don't know. I
story.
didn't work here, so like I said, fucking. I might. This might be all made up that they were fucking with me.
Good.
So I probably shouldn't even said anything.
You're right. For the most part, no one did. There is a couple I'm thinking of.
There was a server that when Lewis Black was here the first time, and I don't think you were here.
Oh, I know about this
No.
too.
But yeah, she
There's
hooked
true.
up with Lewis Black and went on him with his tour bus. And when they fucking left here and they went down to like Kansas City or somewhere, and I think she's with him for a couple of days, and then he was like, "Okay, see ya, get off my bus." And then like they called up here, Colleen, she's like, "I'm here. How do I get home?" Colin's like, "Oh, you're a big girl. You'll figure it out." And she did not work her anywhere after that.
I'm sure she did.
I believe this is the same person when I went to a bar around here that we used to go to on Sunday nights. I went with Rade. I miss Rade.
Oh, Roddy.
I see him. Oh, he says that his kids go to the same school as Weston.
No way.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll see him every now and then. And
I miss that
as
guy.
we're picking up kids and stuff like that.
Oh my God, his kid is old enough for school now.
Yeah, kindergarten.
Jeez.
I know,
It's been
right?
so long since I've seen that dude. And he's from Croatia, so he has a very thick accent. I knew his brother-in-law before I knew him.
Oh, really?
Which is small world. Yeah, his brother-in-law was like our family, like my family would always go if we had like, we needed our roof redone or something.
Yeah.
His brother was super good, or his brother-in-law was super good at doing that. His name was Lou. And so we'd just hire him for any kind of house project we had. And he started off like with a very small business, and now he's like building houses and shit.
Wow.
And
Nice.
stuff. But I knew him before Rade, and so it was a small world that they were related. But one time we went to this bar, and I think the same girl that went with Lewis Black, who we won't mention her name, was there, and she was a huge bitch. And she was like, to Rade, she was like, "Where are you from? You have an accent." And he goes, "I'm from Texas." And this is after. And then she got super pissed. Yeah. And she kind of had an accent to her, like you could tell a little bit. And how that all happened is I asked her first, and she was real mean to me about it. And then asked Rade, and he said Texas. And then she goes, "Oh, I'm from Texas originally," or some shit like that. And it was a whole weird thing.
Okay, you have to tell me who it was off.
I will off the air for sure.
Off air. Yeah, yeah.
We do that a lot around
Nobody
here.
fucks with Davis. Only I can fuck with Davis.
That's hilarious because that's what I say about the server Amber now. I always do that shit. I think it was last weekend. Amy was saying something to her, and I was like, "What the fuck did you say to Amber?" They like looked at me all weird, and Amber's like, "Yeah, Davis is my bodyguard."
I would do that for Amber too.
Yeah, for sure.
He's the best. They have a really good crew now, and they know that when I come here, like when I'm working, I'm not gonna do shit. I'm just here to serve. That's all I'm gonna do. And most of them are okay with that. They all know that now.
Yeah.
There was a time where a lot of they did not like that.
Oh, I'm sure.
I didn't care.
No, you
Well,
wouldn't.
those people probably aren't here anymore.
They're not
Well,
actually.
Bye.
Like, I've been here too fucking long. Get on board or get the fuck out.
Exactly. Whenever a new person starts, I'm always like, "Colleen, come on." And she's like, "You don't even work here anymore. What does it matter?" And I was like, "Well, sometimes I have to." And like when I want to go on trips and stuff.
Yeah.
And I have to deal with these people.
Spring and summer are coming up. You're going to start to need that money soon.
Well,
That's
it's like a
true.
family here. It's hard to get. You can't just walk, be a part of the family.
That's true.
You gotta fucking earn your way in.
You gotta earn
Yeah,
your
yeah.
keep. There have been so many crazy servers over the
Oh,
years.
so many.
We talked about one. What was his name? Joey Stats. Which, by the way, what a cool ass name. And I think his first night, he fucking did. I forget what he even did. He was fucking around over here, like while we were seating, and he got told to go home or something. He rapped his way. It was some rap attacking Daisy kind of, but also like saying like, fuck you, I'm out of here. I wish I knew exactly what he said, but it was crazy. And yeah, he was gone one night.
I remember that story now that you bring it up, but I had forgotten about that. You know, now he's he does, I think he's an electrician, but he also does weddings, like a DJ.
Oh, really?
Does he rap at him?
That makes sense. I mean, his name is Joey Stats. Dude.
Yeah.
I still think that's a fake name. He's either got to be a sports broadcaster or a DJ.
I swear it's not. My brother's known him since grade school.
Really?
It's always been his name.
Fair enough.
All right, then I guess that's his real name.
I think it's real. We used to have a server. I think his name was Drew, but he would ride his bike. Do you guys remember that? Do you remember that?
Inside here or no, to the club?
To here.
He would
That's
ride
how
his
he
bike
got here.
to work.
Ooh, that's real.
Because he always
sweaty.
park it out back.
He would park it out back, but he rain or shine because he didn't have a car, and then he'd need a ride home, and everyone would like cockroaches fucking scatter.
Well, yeah, you got to load his bike.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
Take his fucking
That's what it
bike
was. It was
home.
like, I'll take him home, but I can't take his bike home. And he's like, oh well, no, I gotta go with my bike.
I'll tell you what I'll do. You can hold onto my bumper to 144th and just let go. You'll get there.
That guy was crazy.
Yeah.
He had a long blonde ponytail.
Yeah.
Remember? Even some of the other crazy ones. Well, you talked about this story last week. The guy from Just Good Meats whose mom was passing out weed on the playground.
I don't even remember that guy's name, and that's the thing is, I feel like he was okay. I don't know if he would have fit in as a door guy, but I know he was working ticket booth too, and his mom was obviously a pretty nice lady.
Everyone loved her.
But also, like, what the fuck are you doing, man? You just started here.
Yeah. I was out there, I think I was probably out there smoking, and I saw it happen. I was like, what in the fuck is she doing? And then
she was like an older lady, like a grandma lady, right?
Yes. And then when she went inside, I was like, did you just buy whatever customer was out there, did you just buy that from her? She's like, no, she just gave it to me. And I was like, what? She was trying to get her product out there, I guess. I don't know.
You gotta get it out there.
What
Spread
did
the
they
word.
say last week? Just Good Weeds, or what?
Yeah.
Oh, that was the craziest. I mean, I just couldn't believe that. And Colleen was here that night too.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Because I think she immediately had a talk with him and told that guy not to come back here anymore.
She sure did. He never came back here again.
I got a picture from Brian sent me a picture yesterday of me and an old door guy. I'm gonna come up there and show it to you.
Oh God!
I uploaded it to the screen, so if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the picture now.
Who is it?
I don't know who this guy is.
Brian who? Bending?
Bending, yeah.
Vinny, you're so young and vibrant in that picture.
Remember that guy?
I don't remember that guy.
You don't remember Rick?
No.
Jen's checking it out right
No.
now.
I swear I don't remember him.
Tall guy?
Who's the other guy?
That's me.
No, I think he was like right before me.
Oh, I thought for sure you were here when he was here.
No, I wasn't.
Are you guys munching on some watermelon
Looks
there?
like it.
Yeah.
Delicious.
I've heard stories about him though.
I want to know
Sure
about him.
You were here when he was here.
I don't think so.
He's the guy that he was the sick fuck. But he was great.
Now I know who he is.
Yeah.
Now I know who he is.
So we used to have to get the feminine bag out of the restroom stall, and his last night here, and I think somebody brought the story up before, but his last night here, he fucking goes in there, and because he'd go and grab it out. It was so for those that don't know, in the last stall there was a trash can, like a small office size
For
trash
sanitary
can,
napkins.
for sanitary napkins. And so he would
And
come
panties,
out
sometimes
and
there's
sometimes
panties.
panties.
Oh, I thought they flushed those. That's why it clogs
No,
up
no,
all
no.
the time.
So he'd come out with the bag like every night. He's like, "Oh, look at this! Oh, we got a bunch of bleeders tonight." Oh,
Oh yeah, I
and
know
he's like,
about
"Oh,
this
these
guy.
are some dirty bitches." And so then he fucking comes out his last night. He comes out, he goes, he's like, oh, he's like, my last night, he called it the rag bag. I got to get the rag bag. I'm like, all right, dude. You go
He
ahead.
loved it way too much.
Oh, he did. So he fucking comes out of the fucking thing holding the rag bag with a tampon between his teeth and blood. He put fake blood around his fucking mouth.
Saying fake. I was like, what?
Well, but we didn't know at first. He comes out and he's like, I went digging and found me a good one with this fucking tampon hanging out of his mouth.
Oh no, I don't remember that guy.
The Rick.
No, I don't remember him.
He's also the guy that
You would have remembered him.
I would've
you would have remembered
remembered
him
for sure.
He was a lot of fun.
Sounds like I would have liked
You
him.
would have loved him. That's why I thought for sure you had remembered him. He was the guy that during a medicine show, during the induction right over here at like 121, some guy was kind of talking during the induction and he fucking walked up and Rick was probably like 6'5", so and he was skinny.
Shit.
And so he fucking walks up and he thumps this dude on the head to shut him up. and then after it gets all done, he's like, yeah, I had to go over and thump that dude. And I was like, you did what? Yeah, I had to thump him. He was talking. I was like, don't fucking do that. Like, there's other ways to handle that.
I had to thump him.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, he got real pissed. I was like, yeah, I bet he did.
Oh, yeah. If you thump someone right, you can really fuck them up
Yeah.
pretty good, you
I
know?
would not like that at all.
No.
The rule is you can't touch unless you've been touched.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's a good rule.
At least that's my rule. Because I've had a lot of people touch me, and that is probably the one thing is I can handle attitude, I can handle neediness, but when you touch me, that is like, it's usually
Like they're making passes at, like that type, or
dudes.
being rude?
Like even like, grabbing your arm.
or grabbing my arm or snapping. I guess the snapping.
Ooh, yeah,
my
that's fucking
biggest,
bullshit.
that's
Yeah.
my biggest one.
That's rude.
Don't snap at me, motherfucker.
You're not the king of England,
Yeah.
fuckface. Fucking snapping at me.
Oh yeah. And my response is almost always, "That's a great way to get me to not come back to your table."
Oh, that's real. That's very passive aggressive. That's good.
Especially, I'm sure you on that exact tone too. I can hear it,
Yeah,
especially when you're busy and
Yeah.
you're fucking stressed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, and we'd be like, ooh, shit.
Oh fuck, you done fucked up now.
Fucked up, buddy.
Like, no, I'm serious. I've been teaching kids all day. You are the least of my worries. That is kind of the great thing about like, even when this was my full-time job, but I was going to school, or you can come here and it's kind of like I always compare it to that restaurant like Dick's, where they talk shit about you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only compare it to that because Colleen has the servers' backs at all the time, no matter what, because people will come in here and you can't even imagine the animals that people act. It's like, is this your first fucking night out? Like,
Yes.
I'm a
lot of
human
times,
being, you're a human being. Like, let's just all be.
Just even like the mess at their table sometimes
Oh,
after
so
the show, you're
filthy.
like, did fucking a bunch of 5-year-olds eat
Yeah.
here?
Yeah.
Like it's crazy how people act. Yes.
It is.
Such
Yeah.
slobs sometimes.
But it's like at other restaurants, you can't defend yourself in that manner. Here you can, and Colleen will back you up, especially, like that penny story I told.
Yeah.
She didn't. If you are doing your job and somebody's being an asshole to you, then put them in their place.
Yeah.
And that's like when they're, I'm never coming back here again.
I love to say good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
okay.
you.
Yeah. Thank you. I love doing that one too. Thanks. Do you mean it?
Yeah. They don't. You always see those people
I
back
know.
here.
Oh, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
They'll come back, and then sometimes you'll recognize them coming through the line, and I'll be like, oh, you can tell they're kind of sheepish when they come back in because they don't know if we remember them,
Huh?
We remember you.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Most of the time, yes.
Someone will remember you. It may not be everyone, but someone will remember you and point you out and remind everybody else. Oh yeah, that was that asshole.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Well, back when we used to have the paper tickets, we would save them and write whatever they did on them, or we would put them up in the. You guys used to have a bunch on the wall back
they're
there.
still
Are they
up.
still
No,
there?
those are just the names. Those are fun names.
Like George Butt.
There's Anita Ho.
No, there's.
Yes, there is.
And there's there's like a couple beavers on there.
Yeah, it is.
You're so easily abused.
It doesn't take much.
We're big children.
Yeah. You should know this by now. Come on, Jen.
Do you remember when Eric Menzer used to have fart tracks on the music
this
he
is
would
my
play?
favorite. I miss it so much. I remember when he'd go in Colleen's office and just fart on her and leave.
I don't think I knew about that one.
Oh yeah,
I knew about
do
the
that.
purple.
Oh, he would do
Yes.
that.
Oh, I know he would do it to everyone, but I didn't know he'd fucking do it in the office.
Oh yeah, he'd close the door, rip one, and fucking leave.
That is fucking crazy.
God. That was good though too when those farts would play and you'd be seeing it out there and be like,
Yeah,
that?
yeah, we song, and song.
Yeah, it was like a whole album
Oh,
Yeah.
of different farts.
He took time to do that. Like
Oh, he made it himself. I was
Yeah.
not aware of that until
I
this
didn't
moment.
either.
yes.
I thought it was all random.
That's
No,
impressive,
he
Eric.
made those playlists, I'm pretty sure. Because when you bartend, you would just stick your phone over there and play your
Right.
music all night. Like
Yeah,
we
yeah.
never hardly ever play the radio. And so, yeah, no, that was on a playlist. He wasn't just walking over there making fart noises every once in a while.
So he knew the order they were gonna come
I'm
up.
sure he did. I'm sure he did.
Oh shit.
Bendig asked us if we would ever have him on the podcast, and we said yes, but we'd have to wait till he
Would
comes
love
into
to.
town for supplies from Ord.
I bet if you asked him, he would be here tomorrow. He would work it out. He was pretty excited when I texted him. Like,
Was he?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Give me some stories. You should probably get Tammy and Renee on here too. I'm sure
Yeah.
they remember a lot
That's
more
true.
than I
Yeah.
do.
Well, they were out here a couple weeks ago. Oh yeah, you were here with them, and yeah, that was fun standing out in the bar talking about old servers and old stories and stuff like that.
Oh
So
yeah.
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we were only standing out there for what, like 10 minutes, 15
yeah.
minutes.
We could have been out there all night.
Oh, I know, for sure.
There's some crazy shit that's gone down here. It's like if these walls could talk, you know?
I know, right?
Right.
There'd be so much they would say.
They can't, so that's why we have to do it for them.
God.
No
Share our
shit.
stories.
For some of us, that's a blessing. I probably would not be here for 14 years if I could.
Yeah, we've been fired a long time
Yeah.
ago.
Colleen loves me, but I don't know if she loves me that much. I'm just kidding, Colleen.
Nothing happened really.
No, nothing. I was always gone right after my shift. Clocked out.
We're just talking about the birds chirping. That happened to me, I think Katie and Christina one time. Is she just left us there and told us to go out the side exit door from the patio and just left us in here and set the alarm, left us out there. Shit, we didn't leave till like 3:30, 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, "You're sure the alarm won't go off?" No. Right when we opened that door, that fucking alarm at like 3:30 in the morning. So it does like we.
I bet
so
she was
Oh, probably. I was like, "Let's get the fuck out of here."
I bet she was pissed.
Oh, I'm sure she was. She
Well-
figured you'd be here for another half an hour.
Yeah, probably.
That's the server lifestyle, though, right? That's like when I first started, it was because when I worked at the Olive Garden, you'd be off by 10.
Yeah,
But then that's when your night starts.
right.
And here we work until 1:30, 2 o'clock
Yeah.
sometimes. So our night doesn't start until then. And so being up, until the birds chirp, it sounds crazy, but we'd only been
Yeah, it's only been a few
couple hours since we got off
exactly.
work.
Right. And you can't go home and go right to sleep anyways. I mean,
never.
you've got to come down.
Not
No.
even till this day, I can't do
No,
that.
yeah.
Oh, I can now. I'm old now. I ain't hanging out for shit now. I go home right
I
away.
guess it just depends. And most
If you don't
nights
go home
it's-
and go to bed right away, though.
Yeah, because most of the time I work I teach all day.
That's
so
true.
By the time I get home, I've been up for like 20 hours.
True.
that is true.
I could have done that 5-10 years ago. I can't do that now.
I'm just usually and most of the time I like it. All the comedians that come here, and it's from laughing and just being jazzed up from the night. And I get home, I'm like, let's fucking do something.
Yeah.
But I'm old now too, and I don't necessarily like drinking that much anymore, except on this show, and which I've tried to stop doing as much after one of our D&D episodes. But
I'll
When
have
I
to
get
listen
home,
to that one.
Oh, yeah. You can watch Sean go from this to this.
I've seen that before, actually.
Yeah, I think you worked those nights.
And then I get home and everyone's sleeping at my house and nobody, and I'm like, what am I supposed to fucking do now? And so I just sit there, you know, and watch TV or whatever, but I don't go to bed for hours because I'm up. I'm ready to fucking.
Well, that's when I pass out. If I sit down and I'm starting to watch something or do something, that's when I pass out. I'll
do that with like either the video game controller in my hand.
Done that plenty of
the
times.
TV controller in my hand, and after a while I'll slow down and pass out. But it's usually a couple hours that I can stay up when I get home because this place just fucking gives me that energy.
There's just something about this place because like that happens to me like on a Thursday. You know, or even some Fridays when I have to fill in, but you know, working all day and you're like, fuck man, I'm tired. And then as soon as I get here, like I'm fucking, all right, I'm ready to go. And then, you know, by the end of the night on those long, you know, 18, 19 hour shifts of working all day, that's when it starts to weigh on you at the end of the night. But yeah, I don't know what it is about here, but it gives you that energy.
Oh yeah. When we have 2 shows on Fridays and I've been at work all day, like once I get here, like you get an energy surge.
Yeah.
And you're good. But then as soon as I collect all of my checks on that second show, you know, then you still have about 10 minutes of the show and then you have side work. It never fails. I'll drop my checks for that and pick them all up. As soon as I have everything collected, then I'm like, because I know it's like I have about 20 minutes, like I'm done. I don't have to talk to anybody else anymore. Like I just got to clean and get out of here. And that's when it'll hit me and I'm ready to go. Although I suppose if like Allie and Kate, if we all still work together, I'm sure it would be a different story.
Right.
Yeah, I think that too.
It's just a different vibe now.
Everyone just kind of moves on at some point, except for the 3 of us.
I know. I hate even telling new people like how long I've been here. They're like, "You've been here how long?" I'm like, "I know. I've tried to quit a lot, okay?"
It's awesome.
But I think that's the key to our longevity is taking those breaks or you know, taking that time off because you know, I talked about it last week. You know, I tell the people that work here as their only gig, you know, you're going to get burned out in a year and a half of dealing with these drunk people and taking the time off. I mean, with Sean, you know, Sean was gone Sean had quit like 2 or 3 different times.
He tried.
Yeah. And he keeps getting pulled back in and, you know, now he's fucking working like every 3rd Saturday.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't work Saturdays.
And so.
He's working this Wednesday for Mick Foley with me.
Yeah, he's working for me.
Oh, nice. He's working with me.
Yeah. And he's working for me. He doesn't know it yet, but he's going to work for me next Thursday, the Thursday after for the drag show.
He doesn't know it yet? Is that what you said?
Yeah. It's the drag show, though, but he loves working that shit, so.
He does.
I've heard those are awesome. I haven't been to one yet.
Oh, what? Oh, you would love the drag show.
I have to get here.
Come out. They're doing one on Cinco de Mayo, and my wife Jen's going to come to that one. So.
Oh, nice.
You should come to that one.
Is it a school night?
It's a Thursday. It's always Thursdays.
That's a
so
school
take
night.
Friday off. Take the 6th off.
I'll try it.
You got plenty of time now. Somebody else can drive the bus, take the kids, pick them up and take them to fucking school on Friday. Get that shit covered now.
You know, one of those assholes said to me the other day, we were driving. I'm a teacher. I teach at an alternative school for middle and high school students.
You're a saint.
Yes, she is. And she has some of the greatest fucking stories about these little assholes she has to deal with all day long.
Which is why I've worked here for so long, because I can just deal with that. I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah.
Probably because my family's a bunch of jackasses.
What up, Mike?
Yeah,
fuck you, Mike, you jackass.
Especially Mike. But we were driving, and he lives out in the country, and he was like, "Look, did you see that mansion over there?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I wish I could live in a mansion." And he was like, "Well, why don't you get a real job?"
Oh, that fucking little bastard.
I was like, "Why don't you fucking walk home?" But when I talk about working here, like they think this is a real job because I meet like cool people that.
Yeah.
So this is like my street cred as a teacher. When I'm like, "Oh, guess who I'm going to work with?" You know, and now I never used to be a picture taker. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable to ask for one. I don't know.
I'm the same way.
They don't mind, I'm sure.
No,
but
they love.
Yeah, I just the only time I ever get them is when Colleen knows I love someone. Like they're like one of my faves, and she'll corner them and make them take a picture. Otherwise,
she's good at that.
Yeah, but now like the kids think it's super cool. Like that's like my street cred. So if I'll have somebody take a picture and then I go to work the next day, like, "You guys, look who I met. Like this is so cool." And that's a real job to them. Not
No, what you're actually
not driving them to school.
I have a master's degree and $140,000 in debt for my student loans. That's not a real job.
No, not at all.
working here. This is a real job.
This is the real stuff.
The real deal.
Because I remember that you had something signed or pictures taken or something several times because you were talking to your kids at school and you're like, oh, I'm gonna work with whoever the hell it was, and then they're like, I don't fucking believe you, and you're like, oh, just wait, and then you're like, I fucking got it right here. I'm gonna go shove it in their fucking faces.
You know, the only one they don't believe me on now is Kevin Hart, and I'm still trying to get that damn picture. It was somebody just posted it, and now I can't find it.
With Kevin Hart,
it was like the group
one.
Yeah, we were all up here on the stage with him.
Yeah.
I have to find out who.
Have to find out. Yeah,
we started taking pictures again with the comics for street cred for Door Guys
for the podcast.
It's street cred. This is your real job.
We got to get someone to fucking watch, and the one we took with Rob Schneider fucking has like 3,500 views on fucking Instagram reel.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the artsy one I made with Mitch Hedberg telling the joke of with the Liquid Death telling the joke on the stool. Like for the first week, it had like maybe 80, and it's up to like 1,300.
Damn.
But just like all of a sudden, and I don't know why. And so that one's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's just like a short one. It's just him telling a fucking
terrible
joke. It's like a Dracula joke, and I just did it because it was Liquid Death or whatever, and I did it like with the film type thing, just because we're just trying to put content out there for
you get the views, the likes, the subscriptions, the watches, everything.
Your Photoshop pictures are.
I can't take any credit for that.
That's me and Sean.
Yep.
Oh my God, they're so good. Those ones with Colleen, I think I looked at probably 200 times.
Those were definitely Sean.
Those are great. Those are great.
Sean did those?
Yes, because I think at the podcast we were like, we need something like Cleopatra, and we're like holding her up. And he's like, all right, got it. And he left and he got it.
And the fucking story one where she's fucking reading.
Oh yeah, that one's great. That was great too. That one was great. That was all on his own.
Yeah.
What's really great is everybody thinks they know her, right? Because she's on the radio and she just worked here for so long. And I remember when I first started, they're like, if you see Colleen pulling on one ear, that you get her out of whatever she's in.
Yes.
Like that was,
and it's
signal. Still a thing.
Yes.
Oh yeah, she's still. Yep.
Recently, I think it might have been Tanner. I'm not sure, but I feel like it was a newer guy that didn't know. It had to have been Tanner because he's the only new guy. And she was pulling on her ear, and I think I was close to it, and she came by, she's like, I was pulling on my ear. It's like, I didn't know. And then I had to tell Tanner because he was not informed.
He was like, what?
It had to be that. And I was like, I didn't fucking know. But yeah, that is still the thing.
Still the thing.
Pull on the ear, get her out of there.
Get her out.
Should we read this email?
Yeah, let's do that.
Adam, I promise your fucking T-shirts coming. Throw in some stickers.
I'm guessing you don't have them yet?
No, not in my possession. They're ordered, but they're not ordered.
All right. We'll blame it on
Russia.
Supply chain.
Right.
Yeah.
Russia's fault.
I blame it on Russia. I wore my colors today.
Asshole.
You did. I was wondering why you
last two podcasts, I wore the hat. Last podcast, now I wore this. Even though it's a weed dispensary, it's definitely Ukraine colors. So
it is.
I'm supporting you guys from my heart.
All right, let's see. We got Adam sending us emails. Says, "Hey dudes, so I have a few random questions for you guys, but first I gotta know and be honest." Oh fuck. Oh, if my emails are getting kind of old for y'all.
Not at all.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I was scared there when he said, "Be honest." I'm down to keep emailing, but I don't want to keep bugging you if you're moving away from this type
Not
of
bugging at all.
No,
Keep it up.
no. We don't get enough of them. That's why we don't have these types of interactions. We've talked about doing like some questions through like Patreon or something like that. But until then, send in the emails. Do it while they're free.
Oh, I'm going to start sending your emails.
Send us some emails.
Yeah, send us emails.
We prefer nudes, but we'll take what we can get.
You can make a fake name. No one will ever know it's you.
I'm going to do it.
Now forever we'll be like, is this Jen?
I know, right?
Is this Steven guy Jen?
I'll just be in my car listening.
Let's see. Okay, so questions, and you might have covered this shit, but I can't remember.
We'll cover it again. That's what we do.
Yeah, we've repeated shit before. Has any comic come into the Funny Bone that you were just starstruck by?
Oh,
And how hard is it to keep your cool in those situations? I feel like I'd be Chris Farley going, "You remember that time?" to people all the time.
When the first time Joe Coy came here.
Oh yeah, you
because
were.
He was on
big into
Chelsea.
him.
I would love Chelsea Handler. I loved the round table. She used to have so many good comics on her round table. And when I found out he was coming here, I was so excited. And I was bartending at the time. And for some reason, I never knew this about myself, but apparently when I get nervous, I drink a lot of water. I drank so much fucking water that I was in the bathroom like every 2 seconds peeing because I was so nervous.
Did you leave your panties?
I put those in the green room.
That's with your number on it.
On the waistband, Jen. No, but when we're sold out, busy, right? Like you cannot go to the bathroom that many times.
especially
when
as a server.
No, I was bartending.
Oh, even worse.
When you're bartending a sold out show, you don't go to the bathroom. But I had drank so much water because I was so nervous to meet him. And then he gets here and he was, and still is, the nicest person.
So
I mean,
nice.
there was nothing to be nervous about at all. I was starstruck for him. I was really excited to meet Chris D'Elia.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, you were.
I can't. The week leading up to that, or a couple of weeks leading up, she was talking about how, and I kept telling her he was so. I'm like, dude, he's gay. You know that, right?
So
She's like,
bad.
shut up. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, I swear to God.
He's not gay, but he turned out to be something.
Yeah.
He has a big old tattoo on his neck now.
He does? Yeah. I unfollowed him. I don't.
Yeah, he's doing podcasts.
Fair
again.
enough.
I saw that.
Yeah, fair enough.
That was probably the one I was most excited to meet. And then, no, I was also really excited to meet Kevin James.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
then when he came, he wanted nothing to do with anybody. And that bummed me out.
Me too.
It does, yeah.
But
I was kind of starstruck, excited to meet one of the guys that came with him was Boss Rudin, who's an MMA fighter, and he's been in the Kevin James movies. I was like, Boss Rudin? And he's like, yeah. I was like, hey, how's it going? So, and he actually talked to me for probably a good, 3-5 minutes while we were both standing out of the door while Kevin James was in the bathroom taking a piss, making sure nobody went in there. Me and Boss were standing there broing down for a little while. So that was pretty cool.
Wait, he brought him as like his bodyguard?
No, just to hang out with him.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, maybe bodyguard. I don't know. But
I was like, that's a good fucking bodyguard.
No shit. But when all you do is hide in the green room, you got nobody to fucking bodyguard from. But
True.
no, he was just in there hanging out with him. So that was pretty cool. And Lewis Black, I was pretty starstruck with him the first time because I was still relatively new here. And I'll even say it, even Bob Saget, his first time here.
I was actually really bummed to be. I was in Mexico when he was here.
This last time?
Yeah, on another vacation.
Yeah, of course you were.
Yeah,
because you were working before that.
I did.
We discovered this pattern.
I know. I worked like the 2 months leading up to that. No, I was bummed to be out of town with him because it had been so long. I mean, I don't think he's ever been to this club, right?
No, yeah, he'd been here once.
One time.
Because I don't know if you were here. Did you work when he was here last time? Because when he was working here, we still had a 1 a.m. liquor law curfew. And we did 3 shows on that Saturday. And so that third show started at like 12:30.
Oh, I've worked those shows before.
And
Those
so we had to
nightmare.
go around and take alcohol from people.
Yeah.
Because
shit.
they're like, liquor's over, sorry.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I just got my beer. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
That's
I got
the law.
to take it. Finish it up or I got to take it. That's the law.
Yeah, I've worked.
Thank God it's pushed out further now, so we haven't had to deal with that. But
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Who were you stoked to meet, Davis?
Bobcat. I had seen Bobcat
yeah.
at the old club, but when he came here, he was just such a cool guy, and he's such an interesting guy to me. And I remember watching him in the police academy. He was talking all crazy and shit. And he was, I want to say, and I'm pretty sure that it was the first time that he did meet and greet was at our club. One of the last times he was here, and I got to stand out with him, and he's a nervous guy around people, and I just remember like just how sweet of a soul he was, because he like didn't even want to tell me, like I could just see him getting nervous, and I was like, hey man, like if you don't want to be out here, I'll run you back to the green room, it's not a big deal. And he's like, oh no, I'm cool. Like that kind of calmed him down a little bit, but standing there next to him, I was like, holy fucking shit. It's fucking Bobcat. So I mean, I'm good at keeping my cool.
Yeah.
I'm also like a chameleon around people. Like I can fit in with like different people everywhere. But also ever since I worked here, I tried to take the attitude that like everyone is just a person.
Yeah.
And I've always tried to tell myself that here, so I really don't get starstruck. I was super pumped for Bob Saget to come here because, like everyone else, I grew up watching TGIF with my family some Friday nights and shit, and so like he was America's fucking dad, but then I really wasn't excited for
that ended that assignment ended real quick.
Listen, I get that.
And so it ended up I wasn't starstruck, but I probably could have been, if it would have went a different way, and part of that was our fault. So it is what it was, and other than that, I don't really. I feel like everybody, maybe TJ the first time I met him, but he's so cool. He's just comes like off like your friend, when you meet him. So it was like immediate, like went away, But I had seen him in a couple movies and stuff by that point.
I gotta say it is pretty cool when when TJ came back like the second time or the third time and he remembered me. He was like, "Oh hey," and you can tell he genuinely remembered me. He didn't know my name necessarily, but he remembered my face and he was like, "Oh hey, how's it going? Good to see you."
Yeah,
stuff like that is pretty cool. It's like, "Oh hey, fucking TJ Miller remembers me." When he leaves and goes, is he gonna remember me? I don't know, probably not. But when he fucking saw me, he remembered me, and that's pretty cool too.
And I think like most comics are like that.
Yeah,
I would say at least. For being here as long as I have.
Yes.
They might not know my name, but they know they've seen me before.
Right.
And they're nice. I was excited to meet Pauly Shore, even though I'd heard all kinds of stuff about him.
Yeah.
But, I loved Son-in-Law. That's like one of my favorite movies.
Oh, everybody
ever.
fucking loved that movie.
I was so excited to meet him, even though everyone was like, he's not that great. Like, and he got here late and had like 5 to 8 chicks that worked at Twin Peaks. I don't know if that place.
I do remember. I remember this shit. One came with her parents.
And I was
like her parents was like, "Fuck no, you're not going to this fucking show."
Because I think she was like underage, wasn't she?
I think she was 20 or something.
I'm pretty sure all of them were because I was bartending, and he comes walking up with all of them, and we were super busy because again he was late, so the showroom was already full. We're super busy. And he like comes and demands like, "Hey, we're ready for some drinks." And I'm like, "Okay, just a second." So I go over there. I don't remember who I was bartending with. It was the night Colleen was here though. And he comes over and he's like, "Whatever they want." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Can I see your IDs?" And they're like, majority of them were like, "Oh, mine's I left mine in the car. I didn't bring mine." And I was like, "Well, go get it." And Pauly's like, "No, they get whatever they want." And I was like, "Yeah, when they show me their IDs, they will." He went and told Colleen, and she told him the same thing. Yeah, well, we're not like, show your IDs, and then they'll all have drinks. And he was pissed. That was the first time I met him. And I was like, I'm not getting fired from my job over Pauly Shore and these little bimbos that you brought over from wherever the hell they were.
Because he's gonna be gone next week, and you're still gonna be here.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's something that I've kind of learned over the years. It's like, yeah, sure, you're pissed now, but you're going to be gone in a couple of days, and I won't have to think or hear of your fucking ass and whatever bullshit you got going on. I'm still going to be here. This is my gig, and I'm here to make Colleen happy, not you.
Yeah, exactly.
The last one I'll say is Bert and Tom Segura, just because I follow them a lot, and I think they're hilarious. I would have thought that I would have been starstruck by them just because I really enjoy both of them, but I wasn't at all. And I felt like I feel like I scare Bert. I don't know why, but I feel like he thinks I give off a weird vibe or something, just like being around him, because he'll sit around and talk to us and stuff. But I always feel like he's kind of like eyeing me out of the side, like I'm going to do something. And I don't know, maybe he was just hammered. I don't know. But like I felt like that a couple times. And then Segura, when he comes, he's just here to do his work. Like what he says on stage about like, I just want to be at home. Like there's a special where he starts it off like he doesn't even want to fucking be out here doing this shit as he gets older. That's kind of how he carries himself. Is he's nice, but you can tell he's here to do his job, get done with it, and leave. He's not trying to hang around or do anything like that. He barely takes like I think last time was right after we came back from COVID, so he wasn't meeting greeting anybody anyway. No. So he was just out of here right after that. But those are two guys that I would have thought that I like going into it like, oh fuck, I'm gonna act like a fucking idiot, But it ended up being fine because just right when you get around these the comics, they're just regular people. They just have a cool job that they do, So.
When I was lead server, I was the only one that got to do the green room.
Yep.
And so there was a lot of times where I would get a little nervous to like go in, hey, but almost every time it was never, like they're just human.
Right.
Same. They're the same.
Yeah, just people. Yeah.
And everyone always made me feel cool in there. And there were some weird things. Not on my part. I didn't do anything in there. But like there were some guys it was like I would leave the door open if I would go in because they made me feel uncomfortable.
A little creepy.
Yeah, creepy. Yeah. I never did any. I think some people have done stuff in there.
Oh, yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
I don't remember who it was, but it was a few weeks ago, and I think it was Daisy went in there. And even if I knew, I wouldn't tell their fucking name. But the dude was like, hey, keep your eye out for groupies out there. And Daisy goes, okay. And fucking close the door.
Oh, God.
That's funny.
What's question number 2 from
Question
Adam?
number 2 is oh, shit. My phone has 1%. So,
Oh, shit.
Yeah. He says, do the door guys team up and play pranks on the rest of the staff? And if so, what are some of the pranks you've pulled? Like telling a brand new server to empty the hot water out of the coffee maker that has our hot water line plumbed into it is always my favorite. That's fucking
That's a fucking good
That's
one,
a
Adam.
great one.
That one's been done here.
Has it?
Oh, yeah. I didn't do it. I don't remember who did that to someone. Oh, yeah, that happens.
I don't know that we necessarily played on this.
I don't like to team up when I do my pranks.
That is true.
The more people you have, your prank's going to get out. So, when I smash food, no one has any
you
idea.
smash food.
No one has any fucking idea.
You fuck with the kitchen a lot, too. The kitchen.
Oh, I do.
kids.
I do. I think that man train kid was on top of, he was fucking around and was on top of like one of the server carts.
Yeah.
Last Friday, and I just walked by and I fucking kicked it. So he went flying across. He was like, oh! And then he's like, hold it so I can get off, because if he got off, it would like slide out from underneath.
Yeah.
So I mean, I helped him out after I did it. But they're just kids, I'm like the older brother they wish they never had.
Yeah. No shit.
I love those guys, man.
Yeah, weird Uncle Davis.
Yeah.
I love those guys.
One time, Mike, my brother, who also worked here for a while, he had a piece of fake poop in his car.
Of course he fucking did.
It makes sense. I'm going to
Yeah.
explain it if you know him. But Christina P was here for the first time, and she had her dog with her because it was a therapy dog, right?
Right.
And I don't think we've ever had anyone else bring one here. And so Colleen was a little nervous.
Yeah, Nick Allen had to walk it.
Yeah.
He's still mad to this
He's
day.
so pissed. I had to babysit that fucking thing.
Colleen was a little nervous about having it here
Yeah.
because she's never had it before. So, of course, Mike's like, oh, I got this fake piece of poop in my car. And he goes and gets it. And he had to clean the green room that night. So after she left with the dog, he hides it in the green room. And he's like, oh, my God, Colleen, there's that dog shit in here. I'm not sure I've ever seen her more mad. As soon as I worked here, she was in the office checking people out, and she's like, "What the fuck? God damn it!" And she gets up and like comes in, and everyone knew it was happening, so we're all laughing our asses off. She goes down to like touch it and pick it up, and she realizes it's fake, and she picks it up, throws it at Michael, and goes back in the office like, "God damn it!"
She does not like poop.
No. Or dogs, really.
Well, I was working during the day. This is on like episode 1 that I accused Andres of doing this. I was working ticket booth, and Village Point came around the corner, and on the door that goes out to the Village Point hallway over here by the men's bathroom, someone had shit right outside of there. And Village Point said it was a dog, and Colleen went and looked at it and came back, was like, that was a human. And so I just agreed with her. I don't know if it was a dog or a human. But like where it was, a person could have positioned themselves in the corner and shit right there.
No.
Yes. And she was
blame it
so
on
mad. She
Andres?
was so fucking mad.
Yeah. Andres could.
I have blamed it on, because I was like, Andres just started.
And as he's saying, now he's part of the Scat Boys.
Yeah.
That's definitely an Andres move.
See, Andres, it's not just us.
He's gonna be so fucking mad.
I remember like one of the first weeks he was here, he told me that he had like a zebra shit one time. Do you remember that? We were sitting out on the patio. No, not what did he call it? It was like a part of it was like white and the other part was really dark. So what was he calling it? I don't remember. But I was like,
it was probably something racist.
it was something racist. That's what I wanted you to say, Davis, because you were out there. So I know. Yeah. Now I remember looking at you like, who in the fuck is this guy? But I don't work very often, right? So he was comfortable around you guys, and here I come, like
giving him the fucking snake eye.
So, Colleen, it probably was Andres that shit.
I will say there was another dog up here, and it was with Christina P. We've told this story. I don't know if you heard about this. Her friend came up from like Kansas City or something to see her. Mm-hmm. He brought his service dog. I was told before I went in there to not pet this dog because it will fucking bite you. Well, the opener or the feature.
She's featuring
Chase O'Donnell.
Chase O'Donnell.
Oh, this was just the last time she was here.
No, this was 2 times. This wasn't on New Year's Eve. It was the time before.
No. Christina. The last time Christina P.
Last time Christina P. Yes. Yeah. And so Christina's coming on stage. Chase gets down. Chase goes in there. Apparently they did not tell her that, which I asked her on New Year's this year if they did. And she's like, wait, what? Because I was like, they told me not to pet the dog. Did they tell you? She said no. She goes in there, pets the dog, and it bit her fucking face. This is first show, so she still has another show to do.
Oh, no.
And she came, and I think I was doing sound, I believe, and Scott came out and was like, a dog just bit Chase on the face. And I was like, what? And I went to the green room, and Scott was like, I'm a paramedic.
Fucking Scott.
He had ace bandage in his back pocket. I don't fucking.
Fuck up.
And I get there, and her eyes are welled up, and she's like, I don't know what to do. And she's such a sweet person, but she's like, I don't know what to do. And we went and got Colleen. And I mean, it got her nose pretty good to where her nose was pretty bloody, and Colleen got her some makeup and then started feeding her vodka. And I didn't really know that. And she came up, she was like, I'm going to do a shorter set or whatever. And she seemed giggly. And then when she got on stage, she was very happy. And afterwards, they told me that happened. I was like, oh, yeah, she was pretty drunk when she went up there. And then she just went back to the hotel. And then she was telling me that Christina's friend that came up, he was butthurt because she didn't go have drinks with him after. It was his fucking dog that bit her face.
I don't want to go fucking hang out with you and your dog that attacked me.
Dumbass service dog.
So her dog didn't poop, but then her friend's dog did fucking go rampage in there.
And then the next night, the dog didn't come back up with him, right?
No, I don't think so. Not at all. Because I think he was gone after that. I think he just came for the one night. But yeah, he had his dog in there. And his dog fucking bit someone's face.
Oh, my God.
And that's never happened before.
No, that hasn't happened.
Yeah, that was the first.
Because we've had service dogs in here before.
Oh, yeah.
Like with guests.
Yes.
All the time.
I'm always like, oh, fuck.
I want to pet it so bad.
I know, right?
Well, that, and I'm like, it's going to bark. It's going to fucking bark.
Oh, I know.
It's going to bark. And they never do.
No,
but I'm like, it's going to fucking bark.
Yeah.
They're trained.
And I get mad at the person.
If only we could train the people that come here.
Yeah, no shit.
As well as they do the dog.
Your dog will bite you when you talk during the show.
Servers will bite you.
We
should start saying that.
Yeah, right. We had a first happen. We had a YouTube guy here. I don't remember his name. A couple weeks ago, and this dude walks in, and I put him over like 130 or 131, something like that, and he had on headphones. I think they were Beats, and he came in. And then he was
I'm listening to this guy's special on my fucking.
He was carrying, yeah, right. But he had this. No. He also had this gigantic stuffed red bear that he was carrying with him. And Colleen goes, the fuck is this all about? I was like, I have no idea. And so then I put him in there. She goes, why didn't you put him in the back? I'm like, well, I couldn't put him in the back yet.
Was he 21 years old?
Yes, he was. Apparently. And
Did he have a tail?
I didn't see one, but he was wearing a coat.
I think we call those furries these days. Were you here the night that group of 6, this was so long ago, but a group of 6 came in, 6 adults, and one of the ladies had a baby. Like a new.
Yes.
Like,
Oh yeah, no, yes.
They were like, we don't understand the problem. We're like, it's 21 or older, right? But it's a baby. Yeah, fucking exactly.
Oh yeah, Ryan Wolf goes, it's a nightclub.
They were so mad we wouldn't let the baby in.
Well, because they were like, it's 10 and a half. Because they had and we were like, what? Like, we didn't understand, and then they fucking had a baby. We were like, no.
Yeah, because it's like a sold-out show or something. I remember it being super busy.
Yes.
And all I kept thinking was like, yeah, that's all we need is the comic to be in the middle of a fucking shit joke. And you're like, in the crowd and be like, what the fuck was that? Just like, you got to remember this because you kept telling me to throw this person out. There was a girl here that was sitting over there one time, and her laugh was the worst. Like, all 3 comics that night stopped to address her laugh because I can't even imitate it. It was so crazy. And everyone was like, no, that's just her laughing. You kept going, you got to fucking throw her out. And I'm like, I can't. She fucking just laugh. I can't throw her out for laugh. This is a situation
like
where
someone
is laughing.
See?
That bitch annoys me. Get her out of here.
See, we don't kick people out for laughing, no matter how annoying your laugh is.
I mean, it was the worst. Like, it was literally she's never been to a comedy show again after that because she got called out the whole time. I can't remember who the comics were. One of them was a female. I think it was the feature, and she stopped herself. I was like, I can't even keep going. This is insane. And then just like started talking to the girl about her laugh.
I don't remember that, but it sounds like something I would say.
Yeah, it does. All right.
Is your phone still going?
Yep,
I'll let you do it.
Still in there. Let's see. So the last question by Adam is, have you ever had visits by bar/restaurant ghosts? Literally every food/bar establishment I've worked at has had some weird phenomena happen that could only be explained by ghosts. So curious if you've experienced that at the Funny Bone. That's all, guys. I appreciate the shows and laughs, Adam.
We appreciate you, Adam. And yeah, that shit just happened a little bit ago.
Yeah.
Rewind about a half hour ago.
Probably like an hour and a half. You know, we've been going for 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Oh, for
really?
real?
Yeah.
Does not feel like that at all.
I know.
This might be a good one.
But I do have two ghost hats. There are hat, but they are ghosty stories, and one you probably are familiar with. And I think I've talked about this on the podcast earlier.
What stage are you on?
Fuck, I don't know.
Spearmint Rhino.
Yeah, baby. Amateur
Wednesday
night.
nights.
Let it all hang out.
We're a duo.
The ambiguously gay duo?
We got Door Guy Podcast G-strings.
And Door Guy mask because it's COVID season.
Thank God.
So we always keep a empty shot glass in the bar, and we would put Jack in after Jay died. We would always be a shot of Jack in there. And Eric would tell this story, and I think it's happened to him on multiple times, where he would feel like a long hair, like tickling the back of his neck. And Eric has no hair; he's bald.
That's true.
And so he'd feel a hair tickling him, and it would happen for like a half an hour. It was just like constantly, like no matter how much he swiped it away or did whatever, it was always tickling him. And then he would turn around and looked, and Jay's shot glass was empty.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so then he would go he put Jack in the shot glass, and it stopped tickling him. His neck stopped tickling.
That's a true
That's
story.
fucking crazy.
Oh yeah, that happened all the time.
Yeah.
Or like even when we would fill them up, and then the next weekend they would be completely gone. Like,
Yeah.
they can't evaporate that fast.
No
Yeah.
way.
No.
No
Even
way.
even under the heat and the lights, there's no way. Yeah.
Not Jack Daniels.
We put like a cigarette up there too, right? Every once in a while, I feel like. Just like a.
Maybe. I think Colleen might every now
Yeah.
and then.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the other story where Colleen was in the office, and I was in there. We were talking about something. We were talking about, I think, Jay's mom. and because Colleen had just seen her or something like that, and we were talking about her and how we hadn't seen her for a while and stuff like that. And then we walked out of the office, and then to go do something, I don't remember. And then we both came back in the office, and on Colleen's desk was the flyer that we had printed up from his memoriam.
I remember hearing this story too.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and we fucking, because I mean, it wasn't like the air was on. It wasn't like it was just on the edge.
We're all walking out of here holding hands.
Yeah, yes we are, hugging. But yeah, it just it fell from wherever it was and landed right on her desk. And it was sitting
crazy.
Perfectly, like if she had sat there and just sat it down.
Wow, that makes the hair stand up on my fucking.
I know,
neck,
right?
dude.
That's
fucking crazy.
And I told the story about the on my first episode when I was just a guest.
Yes.
About when we had his service here, and I think you were probably up here for that when we were on the patio and that barbecue guy came and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we had his little hypnosis spinny light, and we took it down. Colleen took it down to the Croc Center, and we did the memorial there, and we had it going through the whole thing that we had there, and then it got brought back up here to the club, and then Colleen had plugged it in out at the marquee where the signs are at, and had to sit in there, and it was running the whole time, like I saw it throughout the whatever, and back and forth, and we were out there, doing shots of Jack, eating barbecue, and then we were like, okay, the show's going to be going on soon, we got to wrap it up, so it had ended, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go take a piss one last time, and so I walked out to go take a piss. And I walked in and I looked and I saw the light and I'm like, okay, yep. And then as I came back and I was walking back out to the patio, that fucking light bulb had burned out. That light bulb had been running this entire time. And now when it was time for the party to be over, the fucking light went out.
Ooh, that's
too. I remember you telling that.
Crazy.
I mean, and those bulbs would go out all the time. I got the goosebumps too.
Yeah.
I mean, all the time. But right then, it's like he was with us the entire time, and it was time to go, and the fucking light went out, and then he wasn't there with us no more.
Love's a powerful thing, man. It comes through even from the fucking spirit world back, man. He's just checking on everybody.
Yeah. He wanted to hang out and party too.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there's barbecue and Jack and smoking and stores.
You guys partied without me. That's what he was doing.
No shit.
That's probably why he's still fucking with all of us.
And every now and then crazy shit will happen and Colleen's like, okay, Jay, yes, we know. Or
she uses that sage to sage the club every once in a while. Because I was telling, that's how I knew she still has a bunch of it, is I was telling her that I feel like I'm haunted by Mr. Saget. And she's like, I got some sage up there. I was like, I might be visiting it soon. I just got to figure out if this is what's really going on.
She gave me the sage that I have of medicine hats after a bad breakup. She was like, take this shit to your apartment right now and you sage this shit out of your place and you move on. And I was like, okay. So I did.
Nice.
I mean, I don't think it worked because but, I did it. Here I am.
Oh shit.
Well, thanks for the email, Adam. Thanks for
appreciate
being
it,
here,
Adam.
Jen. I didn't even
Jen.
know it was
Thanks
that
for
long.
having me.
You were worried about being able to talk and something to talk about, and here we are,
so
fucking
nervous.
2 hours and 11 minutes later, and we're still fucking talking. I feel like we could go for another hour.
I'm sure we could. I do. I just keep remembering things every time we talk
That's
about
how it
something
I
new.
mean, that's what we always say too, is we'll have to have you back again sometime, because this is what happens to everybody, is we get them talking, and then when we turn all the equipment off, they're like, oh shit, I should have said this. And we do the same thing too. So
we'll have to have Mike back on. I think he really wants to be on.
We'll get Mike on.
No,
I'd
for
love to have
sure.
Mike on, and then we'll see if we can get you and him on at the same time.
We've had multiple family members work here. Remember, we had our cousin Gina was served.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
served-
Oh, that's right.
I fucking love Gina.
Our cousin
yeah.
Ross, her brother, worked in the kitchen for.
Oh,
with the
right.
hair. Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Oh, we could just have all you guys.
Yeah,
on
that's
there.
fucking.
It's a reunion. And all the Curtises, we could just do like a
Yeah.
round table of siblings. I think I've employed half of the staff here has been people I know over the years.
Well, and half the staff over the years was people that we worked with at West. I mean, Sean, Deanna, Jason. I mean, there's several other ticket booth people that used to work with us at West, and so it's always been like a West crew or this family or
well, and then there was the cheeseburger crew. That's
the
how
cheeseburger.
Katie and Allison and Matt and all of them got over here.
Now that place doesn't exist because it was terrible.
It was terrible. Their pina colada was good.
I
hope so. It's in the song.
I think I had fish tacos there once, and they weren't cooked. And I was pissed. So it's not something I usually order either. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to try them. And then they weren't cooked. It was bad. Then I hated that place.
I would imagine so.
Raw fish taco. That's pretty awful.
Or a fun night.
You beat me to it.
I was setting somebody up.
Go like us on the social medias. What else? Email,
Facebook, Instagram.
doorguyspod@yahoo.com. And keep
you have
keep
a
listening.
Yahoo email address?
I love it when people call me on that.
I didn't even know you could still make one of those.
Oh yeah. Hotmail.
My sister-in-law sells an AOL one.
That's the reason I like that I did get a Yahoo one, because no one has a Yahoo one. It's always like
No.
Google.com or fucking Cox.net.
Oh my.
We're fucking Yahoos.
We are fucking Yahoos. Hell yeah, we are.
Yahoos.
It makes so much more sense now. It fits.
See, now you're understanding how my brain works.
I'm on board. I'm fully on board even more now.
There's always a rhyme to the reason.
Okay, I get it.
But only I know most of the time. So don't explain it to anyone. I'm just like, we got a Yahoo address. Fuck you. I just giggle.
Do you have to pay for it now, or is it still free?
No, it's free.
That's another reason why we have it.
Yeah.
I think I have my Nintendo Switch signed up to it, so we get Door Guys emails,
do.
and then if I buy a game on Switch.
I'd noticed that. I was like, what the fuck?
Because I'm a huge child.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yep, let's get out of here. I think I got the same kind of music. Enjoy it.
Very Zelda.